WIBX.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
Well, I'd say it was one of the those secrets that was not the best. I mean, they tried to keep it quiet, but everybody seemed to find out. And by the time the New York Times ran the story yesterday morning, everybody knew by the time we got there that Chobani was investing big time in Rome and at Griffiths. And what an event it was yesterday. It might have been one of the most organized I've really ever seen when it comes to an event like this. It was really incredible.
It was.
And the Chobani investment is over $1 billion. It is going to be resulting in 1,000 plus jobs. And in speaking with him and with County Executive Pacini yesterday, and the touting that came from the governor and Elise Stefanik and all of that yesterday.
Yeah, it was a big event.
It is going to be enormous for farmers. So
absolutely,
this is going to be pretty big, and we'll talk more about it today as we go on. We'll speak with County Executive Anthony Pacini in studio on all of that. Jeremy Rosenthal report is up.
The Rosenthal report. Did I do it right?
No. Also, let's see if we can get Sheriff Maciel too, because between him and Ben the farmer, I would love to get a bit of their take on what it's going to mean for farmers who have really struggled. We talked to one couple, their farmers, on the way out yesterday, and they said, boy, we hope so. It has been rough. It's not been easy for farmers. Davey?
Megan, who were the people that you were sitting next to when we were doing a press conference?
One was a farmer who takes in rescued animals, and another is a food bank. I should have brought her card, and I accidentally left it in my coat pocket, but she was granted money from Chobani to start like cooking classes and helping the local community there access food. So I'll reach out to her because her story was very fascinating, Bill.
I mean, with farmers, they all have fascinating stories, right? And you have one that was featured in Clayville, I believe is where they are. I toured that farm.
Cassville, I think.
Cassville. I toured, and actually the son spoke during the presentation yesterday. They have a huge, enormous farm. And he's a Cornell grad, so the science that goes behind a lot of these farmers and the agriculture today is quite incredible.
It was.
So, but this is going to mean our farming industry has to really reinvest and maybe selling off property for solar might not be the most profitable answer today when you think about it. So it's something we'll get into and talk about, and maybe we can get the sheriff involved in that a little later on this morning as well.
Yeah, like a 360 look from the farmers to law enforcement and how this really will benefit the community. This is massive news.
Sheriff Maciel is a farmer, so I'm really not looking to get into how many additional speeding tickets there will be, but I would like. That is a good
way to look at it.
I would like his take, not from the sheriff's aspect, but from the farming.
I was looking at it like,
and at some point, people are going to have to move here to work there. I don't know that we're at 1,000 additional workers, which will take a few years to ramp up at 1,000 workers. Some people are going to have to move here in order to work there at Chobani.
Exactly. And what I was thinking about with the law enforcement is how local companies that give back when authorities have charity drives or initiatives. And I was thinking how Chobani is now going to be a lending hand in these campaigns.
Were you really thinking that?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. That's out there. But okay. All right. What else do we have? I will speak, as we said, with Tony Pacini on that as well. And Ryan Nobles is coming up a little later on in regards to everything going on. And there's a news story out there on Pete Hegseth. It's really not new. He is just so defiant. I don't understand. Like, it's in order to show that what he did before wasn't wrong, using Signal as his method of bringing his wife in, or family members, or his personal attorney. He has decided, I think, to say, well, here's proof that it wasn't wrong. I'm going to do it again. There's people, and again on top of that. So,
there's people under him that want to resign that don't even trust him.
I know the president is saying that there will be no changes, and he has Hegseth back, but we're getting reports today that there is a movement right now to remove him and replace him.
Yeah.
So that is being reported by several news agencies, I think first by NPR. Fox News reporting it as well. We'll speak with Ryan Schmelz on the issue coming up in a few minutes. And yeah, the warmer weather, we're going to be getting some nicer. Even yesterday wasn't bad, although when we were standing out
blustery
at the Triangle, it was cloudy and breezy and chilly. By the time I had gotten home and began uploading all the stuff that we'd grabbed from footage and everything else,
you were everywhere
at the base. By the time we had gotten back, the winds had died down, the sun was shining, and even though if you sat in the sun, it wasn't all that bad. Today will be better. Mm-hmm. Tomorrow better than that, and we'll speak with Ray Stajic on it coming up in just a few minutes. There was a story, and I normally don't do a lot of these, Megan, but here is an area for you to pipe in.
Okay.
I'm giving you a golden opportunity.
You're giving me a bone.
I'm throwing you a bone. And it is an argument that I think people actually do have. I know it sounds stupid, but I think people do actually go back and forth about this, even so much so that they may go into their own bathroom, see it one way, and change it.
Okay, what are we talking about?
And it is the rolling, how you place your toilet paper on the toilet paper gadget, your roller.
Oh, yeah, that is the age-old debate.
So is it so that you would roll under or over? So what is, because I have a very strong and evidence-based answer.
Are we finally going to have a debate about toilet paper, Bill? I am looking forward to this.
I probably won't debate you on it, but I'm going to give you evidence that is that I think is proof. So where are you on this?
Okay, so you see in the photo that you have brought up on the screen here is a photo of a cat. I have to go under, because otherwise, if I put it over, she does what I call the kitty treadmill, where she takes her two front paws and unspools the entire thing of toilet paper. And if you remember back in 2020 when you couldn't find toilet paper and toilet paper cost the earth, I learned that lesson something fierce. So now I am purely an underroll girl.
I would. I'm not going to debate you on this because we don't have a cat that does that. So you do what you have to do.
You have a good cat
in your bathroom. However, every restaurant, every hotel, every place you go to, it is over. And the reason it's over is because they do the little fancy in the hotels. They do the little fancy fold, which folds over the top. So I believe they would be the experts on this, and it would be over for that reason.
So I used to do cleaning at a major business in the area during COVID.
Yes.
Before I was let go here during COVID, I had to find another part-time job. So I used to do cleaning at nighttime.
Oh, nice.
So that's how
they told you to do it over.
Yes.
And I can only imagine the horror stories that you had as a cleaner.
Here are the experts. Are you ready? Because there is no, there is no debating this. Now, listen. Some people do things a certain way because of their current or their life experience or their current circumstance. And if you have to do something in order to prevent your cat from doing something, then so be it. All the power to you. However,
I appreciate that.
the experts say, because if I tell you it's wrong, are you going to change it? No. But the experts say the under position, based on the actual design on toilet paper, the design of toilet paper, the under position is the incorrect way. They say they start their sheets with cleaning ripples facing the outside of the roll. And if you go under, it faces the wrong way, disallowing the ripples from doing their job. The other part is I don't know if that science is real, but that's what at Charmin they say. The other is Mr. Whipple and his dipples. The others say one is a recent study found that even if you flush with the toilet lid down, that's the other thing. Microbes from fecal matter can spray as far as 24 inches from the rim.
Oh, great.
So they say the other thing is make sure you do put the toilet seat down, but you should flush and then wash your hands.
Yep, you don't want a doo-doo geyser.
It is interesting that we even have to have a conversation like this, but I guess for some, I know a friend who is a teacher whose room might be next to a teacher's bathroom.
Oh.
And is able to hear in the teacher's bathroom.
Oh, no.
And said he feels it's only about 50% the number of teachers who go in and use the bathroom and then wash their hands. So it is not just truckers. I don't mind to pick on truckers. It's not just people working on your cars. I do not mean to pick on but everywhere you will find people who do not wash their hands. And that is, you would think even after COVID, we would have maybe learned the lesson.
Exactly,
on that.
or at least just spritz yourself with some hand sanitizer.
And I do think that is something that I think a lot of people maybe do today, but experts say that is not enough. You should still obviously wash your hands.
I remember there was a fierce debate at one of my previous workplaces about how to wash your hands, Bill. And the argument was, do you wet your hands before putting on the soap, or do you put the soap on your hands before putting on the water? And the argument for the putting the soap on was it created this special antibacterial coating on the hands. And of course, I'm sure if we called Dr. Kent Hall, he'd go, that lady was crazy.
I don't think he would do that, Dr. Hall. He would be very nice.
He would say it in a very diplomatic way.
Yeah. Wayne this morning. Where's Wayne? I missed him yesterday, and I want to get him in here. Okay, Wayne says you roll a tire forward. You go forward in life. You also roll your toilet paper forward over top.
That's a good
there
way
you
to
go,
put
Wayne.
it.
That's a good way of. That's a really good way of putting it.
Very poetic.
I do have the Chobani stories all over the place, and we're going to be doing a lot of talk about that. There's also a story out there on the Comets, on one of the Comets groups that are complaining that if you noticed on, was it Friday, the last home game? There were $10 tickets, and they said, did you see the place was packed? And this person is saying the prices of the tickets are too high. I would simply say they had an awful year. And if the Comets were having a better year, we are a community, I do believe, that likes to follow a winning team. Every other year when they've won, we've never had a problem. This year they had a rough year, and attendance was down. I don't think a knee-jerk reaction on changing ticket prices to $10 would be the answer. But we can talk more about that. And there was one more that I want to get into. Oh, the anti-Trump demonstration that happened here in upstate New York. And the Trump supporter who was arrested for showing up with a chainsaw and revving it up and aiming it at some of the protesters. Good
lovely.
Times. Ryan Schmelz is with us now from Fox News Radio, and the big story this morning on the administration is Pete Hegseth and the Signal chat controversy, which seems to continue. Ryan, good morning.
Oh, you really done it this time.
I know.
Let's lead into you after we just mentioned somebody wielding a chainsaw.
Yeah,
And
that's
I'm just not supposed to. I'm not supposed to acknowledge that you just were talking about that story. Like this is
Right in. But here's the worst part is prior to that, I was talking about how you're supposed to roll out the toilet paper in the dispenser. Is it over top or is it underneath? So believe me,
Oh, boy.
we reach horrible depths on this program. It's,
don't get my college roommate in on that conversation. He'll
there are
blow a gasket.
Oh, boy.
there are
He's a
those
single issue voter. That's it.
there are those that are very, very passionate. I find on this Hegseth story, it's almost like he's saying, "Listen, what I did was right, and to prove it, I'm going to do it again and again. I'm going to just show you." This does not seem to be going his way.
Yeah, well, with this one, I mean, the White House and Pete Hegseth are kind of using the same tactic when it comes to discussing the signal chat. They've kind of stuck to the same story that these were not war plans. They were unclassified documents that were going to be released to the media at some point. So he's standing by, kind of similar to what he said before, that this was not a liability or a release of government secrets in any way. Now, of course, he's getting a lot of backlash for this, especially within Democrat circles, but there are some Republicans, Don Bacon, the Republican from Nebraska, former Air Force high-ranking officer, who just said himself that he believes that Hegseth is not taking accountability, and this would have been a lot better if he just would have came out and said, "Hey, it's my fault. The buck stops with me. Let's move on." But he's pretty disappointed that Hegseth's not doing that.
Yeah, and keeping it going by doing it again. I understand that maybe it's not top secret material, but when you share something is going to happen and the exact time it's going to happen before it happens, I can't imagine that is something that military experts would want out to someone that isn't cleared for that.
Yeah, and of course, these are the leaks of stories that they certainly didn't want the public to see. And in this case, there was not just the Signal group chat that involved those high-ranking officials in the Trump administration. Now you've got the allegation from the New York Times that Hegseth was doing this in a family group chat that involved his wife, his brother, his lawyer. But he said double down yesterday on Fox and Friends, saying that these were not classified materials and that he stuck to that same story. And then, of course, he just said this is a media narrative where people are trying to attack them. And now there are some other issues within leaks at the Pentagon that are currently under investigation by the Department of Defense, which has led to a number of different top Pentagon officials, or at least advisors to Hegseth, being either reshuffled. He's replaced his chief of staff. The chief of staff, based off what he said yesterday, Brian Kilmeade is still working for him, but just not in the chief of staff role.
Yeah.
But there have been some others, like the deputy chief of staff, who have been let out of the Pentagon and let go, and there could be more firings. And he even alluded to the idea of potential criminal prosecutions in the near future.
Yeah. Oh, boy. It'll be very interesting to see where all of this goes. But right now, President Trump is pretty defiant, saying he has my back. He's doing a wonderful job. So we'll see where that goes. Finally, I did want to keep in line with talking about trivial things with you and throwing you off, if you don't mind. Did you see the twins? What was their problem? They got into some issue. They were in an accident or something, and they talk in unison. And they were on Jimmy Kimmel, I think, last night. Did you see them?
No, I did not see that. No. I did not see it.
Okay. All right.
I was at an Orioles game where I was reminded that this team is underperforming quite significantly.
Yeah.
It was awful.
Yeah, yes, they've. Where are we at? They've lost 4 of their. So they're 4-6 in the last 10 games. I would say, as a Mets fan, I'm feeling really good as we're rolling over the Phillies of all teams. However, Ryan, I can only tell you this: as a Mets fan, we know, and Ryan Nobles will confirm this with you. We know it's all going to come to an end.
Yeah, we know what's coming.
It'll come soon.
Y'all are like notorious for kind of teasing this idea of we're going to be the best team in baseball.
That's right.
And just something weird happens.
Yeah.
it's kind of just like insane. Some of the collapses the Mets have seen in the past. It's like some of it's just bad luck. Others, it's just like, how did you guys let that happen?
How did you let that happen?
Like, if I was like a Mets fan, I kind of like my mindset would be like, oh, cool, okay, yeah, whatever. Just call me when we're in the World Series. Then I'll get excited.
That is exactly right. This is how Mets fans are able to thrive, because we can handle anything.
We're used to disappointment. In the beginning of the season, we get the dangling carrot, and then at the end of the
It
season,
is
we only
ugly.
get the stick.
Yep.
Could you imagine could you imagine how bad Eagles fans are going to be over the next couple years? Because now that they've seen 2 Super Bowls in their lifetime, it's like now they're going to win one game and be like, yeah, bro, we're the best. Let's go.
I don't think they've ever stopped. I think it's just that they finally have that justification to be as obnoxious as they are. No hate to the Eagles
fans.
fans.
With a comeback now.
One of the most dangerous places to go and watch a game wearing the opposing team's jersey, Philadelphia.
Oh my goodness!
All right, good stuff, Ryan. We appreciate it. Have a wonderful day, and we'll talk again soon.
Hey, sounds good. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you, Ryan Schmelz with Fox News Radio. Richard, this morning, it's top secret material he's sharing. He will be fired soon. You watch and see. Another 180 by Trump will happen. Trump's new name, the 180 Man. That is Richard, who is not holding back these days on Donald Trump.
Well, that is the thing about Trump, is you only can say for now, because he does change his mind.
Indeed. 6:37. We're going to talk with Ray Stagik coming up in a second. Ann in Rome wants to pipe in about yesterday, too. Listen, if you're a Roman, this is enormous news in such an amazing company. I mean, we're not talking about... boy, I hope this company can survive. This is in its category, is the number one company in America and one of the top in the world, investing over $1 billion in the city of Rome and promising 1,000 plus jobs. And here's the other part of this. Do not let this go unnoticed. There's more property there that they have the right to, I believe. We'll confirm this with Tony Pacini. And they keep calling this Phase 1. Boy, isn't that interesting. Stand by. We'll get right to it at WIBX.
Good morning. WIBX 950 AM 92.3 FM news time is 6:38. I'm Megan Stone with your news update, brought to you by the new Destination Kia of Utica, Commercial Drive in Yorkville. It's mostly sunny outside and 37 degrees. Your full weather forecast is coming up after this. The Central New York economy is going to be getting a major boost thanks to Chobani Yogurt. The company said yesterday it will build a more than $1 billion plant in Rome. The facility will employ about 1,000 people once it's up and running and produce 1 billion pounds of dairy products per year. Chobani picked Oneida County because of its skilled workforce and affordable housing. The hope is the plant will start operations by 2027. Former New York Congressman George Santos is preparing for a life behind bars. Santos told New York One he does not have the ability to pay the nearly $500,000 in restitution he still owes, though he's trying to make some sort of meaningful attempt at restitution. Santos will be sentenced Friday after previously pleading guilty to wire fraud and aggravated identity theft. The former congressman admitted he stole from campaign donors and lied about the theft to Congress. Prosecutors are pushing for a 7-year sentence, while Santos's attorney are hoping for a lighter 2-year term behind bars. The FDA is allegedly planning to end most of its routine food safety inspections. Multiple health officials have told CBS News the FDA will effectively outsource the inspections to state and local authorities. The plans have reportedly not been finalized yet and may have been congressional action to be fully approved. And an actor who may be best known as the host of public television's Reading Rainbow is getting an honorary degree from Howard University. LeVar Burton will become an honorary Doctor of Humane Letters when he speaks at the graduating class during the HBCU's upcoming commencement. The actor and podcast host has won 15 Emmy Awards, a Peabody, a Grammy, and multiple awards from the NAACP. Howard's 157th commencement ceremony is scheduled for May 10th. Currently, it's 6:41 outside. Right now, here is your Weather Center forecast.
Beautiful run of weather here. High pressure is going to stick with us as we head on through today. Clear, little chilly this morning. Maybe even a touch of heat in the car this afternoon. Sunshine, very nice. 65. Tonight, clouds back 43. Still 30s, especially into the Adirondacks. Tomorrow, chance of showers, maybe a thunderstorm in the afternoon. Upper 70s. I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic at the Weather Channel on WIBX, 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
And your weather was brought to you by John's Mobile Home Parts and Accessories in Oriskany Falls. For all your mobile home needs, it's worth the trip. Visit johnsmobilehomeparts.com for more info. Right now, it is 37 and mostly sunny outside. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM. I'm Megan Stone.
Coming up, we'll speak with Ray Stajic on the issue of this next progression in the weather that we're dealing with. We're moving to 60s and 70s and even close to 80 degrees this week.
I'm ready.
Mike, this morning, where the heck are we going to get workers for Chobani? Shutting down the legal immigration that has been and benefited the area is not helpful. I believe that is absolutely true. And then perhaps you can set up an interview with the Charmin Bears on this issue. They would know. And finally, wait until the first fighter pilot gets killed thanks to Pete Hegseth's grandstanding. That's when you will see trouble, and hopefully that
never happens.
Got a break. Cold tight. It's a Wednesday morning at WIBX.
The Potting Shed Antiques in Whitesboro is buying silver, gold-filled, vintage costume, estate jewelry, and U.S. and Canadian coins. They've been your hometown buyer for over 50 years. While other gold and silver buyers claim to offer the highest prices, the Potting Shed Antiques actually delivers. Let Don Hartman take a look at your individual pieces or your entire collection. The Potting Shed Antiques, open Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. Please call ahead for an appointment. Visit thepottingshedantiques.com.
Uncertainty, the unknown. These can be some of the greatest fears people face. There is a chance for a life of greater certainty that the Rome Rescue Mission provides. We call it a hand up, not a handout. The Rome Rescue Mission provides the basic necessities and the skills needed to start a new life. It starts simply with someone to talk to. Knowing that someone cares. The Rome Rescue Mission strives to meet basic needs, food, shelter, and clothing, but more importantly, provides emotional and spiritual support. The Rome Rescue Mission helps people start a new and promising life. Being in need is not a choice. Helping is. An unlimited future starts at the Rome Rescue Mission through your generous support. Make a difference and donate now. RomeMission.org. That's RomeMission.org. Rome Rescue Mission. A hand up, not a handout.
Attention vendors, crafters, and collectors. Looking for a perfect place to sell your goods and reach thousands of eager shoppers? It's the world's largest yard sale happening again this year at the Herkimer County Fairgrounds, June 14th. It's the ultimate selling opportunity. No more setting up signs, hoping for traffic, or dealing with no-shows. At the world's largest yard sale, thousands of shoppers come ready to buy. Whether you sell antiques, collectibles, handmade crafts, vintage clothing, or secondhand treasures, this is the place to be. But hurry, booth spaces are filling up fast. Secure yours today and get ready to turn your inventory into instant cash. It's the world's largest yard sale at the Herkimer County Fairgrounds, June 14th, featuring the jazz sounds of the Dovetones. For vendor info and booth reservations, visit the events page on this station's website. Don't wait, this event is too big to miss. Sponsored by the Potting Shed Antiques, John's Mobile Homes and Accessories, Standard Heating, Cooling, and Insulating, Clinton Tractor and Implement Company, and James Mitsubishi.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-885-5995. 800-885-5995. 800-885-5995.
WIBX.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
All right, I promised I would take Ann here just quickly. Ann, good morning. On Rome yesterday and the announcement from Chobani. Good morning.
Good morning. I can't tell you how thrilled I am. And this just goes to show the city of Rome put up with a tornado, feet of snow, and our elected officials, Senator Griffo, the Mayor Lanigan, Tony Pacini, the Assemblywoman Bunchon, That's what happens when you work together, you get along, and not only are they bringing Chobani, Chobani's got a great product. Go to the grocery store. They have all kinds of products. It's excellent. I have to say, I was thrilled to watch it on TV yesterday. I couldn't be happier with all the devastation the city of Rome went through. The sun was shining on us. And in the words of my Mayor Lanigan, he said it best. Welcome to Rome, Chobani. Welcome to Rome, your new home. Great job by all our elected officials.
Yeah, all right. Nice job, man. Very nice. And we're thinking about you today as you continue your journey. So
thank you very much. Have a good day, everybody.
Good luck today. Thank you.
Bye, Ann.
Ann in Rome. Let me go to the Chobani thing. The Chobani thing, and we'll talk more about it with Tony Picenti next hour.
Absolutely. He's
Was
excited.
really just just great news all the way around. Ray Stajic, also great news all the way around. Is we're finally making that transition into, not every day is going to be beautiful, but we're moving in the right direction.
Yeah, we are. We're trying to get rid of the cold stuff. I mean, it's chilly this morning. Got a lot of upper 20s, low 30s, but modifying as we go through the week. And a little rain here and there. I think best chance toward the end of the weekend, but staying in the 60s today, maybe mid-70s by the end of the week, and shot at 80 degrees next week as I took a little peek ahead.
Yeah.
Hey, that makes me happy.
So now they have warmed. They have changed. I think Cornell Cooperative Extension changed the growing season and moved us up by a little bit based on the changes. Call it climate change, whatever, global warming, whatever it is. So they moved us up a little bit, but not much. You still have to be really careful before Memorial Day and putting things in the ground.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, as we're seeing this morning, we're not there yet because temperatures are at or below freezing, 32 degrees. Although we get milder over the next, I think, 7 to 10 days, a little shot of cooler air maybe briefly for late in the weekend. You get into the month of May, and, it can snow in May here in upstate New York. So
it can.
It can snow in May, and it can get below freezing at night. And some of the longer range guidance, now listen, I'm going to say this very conservatively. If you buy it, the long range beyond 7 days, 10 days, this is going out around the first weekend of May. That would be like the 3rd and 4th. Trying to bring a little bit colder air down. So I don't think we're done with the freezing or below freezing temperatures at night. Probably going to be another, I don't want to say month, but certainly going to be at least another couple of weeks, maybe into mid-May.
All right.
I do believe that we cannot forget that, and I know my wife. I've been talking to my wife, and she disagrees with me on this, but I know I'm right. I just wouldn't tell her that. But it is, my daughter has a birthday at the end of May, and there have been years where we try to do something outside, try to have the pool open and whatever, and it doesn't work because it's too cold.
Yeah, it's been tough, but of recent, as you'd said, the reason why maybe they've moved up or back the growing season a couple of days is because last year, for example, I picked one of the more reliable recording sites, Syracuse, just to our west. Yeah, officially where they measure temperature in April and May of last year, the lowest temperature they had were in the 40s. That was a little bit surprising. Yeah. But, no one year, no one April or May certainly makes what you like to call, well, that's going to happen every year because we've already had temperatures below freezing this month. And I think if it looks the way it seems to look and feel right now, I think we're going to have some chilly weather in the beginning of May if we look ahead to the next, 7 to 10 days and then back beyond that in the next week or two. It looks like something colder trying to come down around that first weekend of May. So we'll see. We'll take a look at it and see what happens.
And then there's that dreaded potential for a quick, usually gone after a couple of days, snowstorm right around Mother's Day. I mean, we always have that to remember because it happened that one year. But, it is what it is.
It only has to happen once, right?
Yeah.
It only has to happen once.
And then are we, it's funny because I look at, I love outdoors in the summertime. Mm-hmm. So the nicer it is in the spring, the better. I love it. But I also, we have a pool and you heat it when you need to. But in at this time of year, we get to that point where we'll work our way into June where you get the most sun on that pool and you have to use your heater less and less. And then right after June, it begins creeping in the other way. And I can totally tell because of the way the sun sets and our house blocks the sun. So I literally can see the shadow go to the back patio. And but we're in a good place right now where it's only getting better and better leading up to June. And the sun is warmer and warmer right now as we get closer and closer. Am I correct with all of this?
That is correct. The sun angle is actually last, meaning it's coming in at a more direct angle, but the sun's actually further away in the summertime from the Earth. I don't know if anybody knew that, but
I did not.
I did not.
Yeah,
the sun's actually further away, but the angle coming in of insolation, the sun's coming in, is at a more direct angle than it is in the wintertime. So the sun actually closer to the Earth in the wintertime. And looking right now, I see the June-July outlook for temperatures, the seasonal outlook, is above average. And right now, the forecast is for that 3-month outlook, about a 50 to 60% chance of temperatures in the Northeast New England of being above normal. So,
okay.
All right.
But, maybe less heating with the pool, Bill.
Maybe that would be believe me, that would be very nice.
Less money to the electric company.
It is, and you talk about the angles. I swear, I am a nut job. I am a nut. Because I'm explaining to everybody, like, well, in the early part of the summer, that tree over there blocks us, usually around 5 o'clock. But as we get to August, it's the tree to the left over there that becomes the problem and block. So all about angles of the sun and how that changes through the seasons. I don't know the science behind it like you do, but I know it's a degree or two when it comes to water temperature.
Yeah, I do the same thing. I've got my son blocks the pool in the summertime, like June, July, and that's the signal where I stand in the pool to start cooking on the grill. Once the sun goes behind the roof, it's like, okay, time to get out.
Yes.
And then in August, that becomes a little bit later, or a little bit earlier, in the day, as that angle of the sun gets lower in the sky, too. So, I'm right with you, Bill.
Yeah.
I'm a nut, too.
All right. Listen, I'm proud to be a nut, so I feel like you are as well. All right. Great stuff, as always, Ray. We appreciate it. Thank you so much, and keep the good news coming.
All right. See you, gang.
All right. Thanks.
Thank you, Ray.
Ray Stajic from the Weather Channel, and it is one of those things where you feel kind of a bit nutty, but it is. If you hold anything in your backyard, if you hold a barbecue or something, you got to know that if you seat people in one place, they're going to be sitting in the sun at a certain time of the summer, but later in the summer, that area will maybe change depending on what you have in terms of tree coverage around your property.
And for you guys, you prefer the warmth, but there are people like me who are bug magnets. We will stay in the sun because that's where the bugs aren't.
Yeah, and it is interesting. If you're in a bad bug season, all it takes is a little bit of shade and middle of a hot summer day, and you're dealing with mosquitoes. Let's not think about them.
I am hoping that the bug season isn't going to be bad because I saw frost today, Bill, and I've always learned
I saw frost as well.
When there's frost, it kills bugs. So hopefully those little bloodsuckers are 6 feet under.
Yeah. I'm not sure how long you're going to be able to rely on frost, but today
I have my Dynatrap.
Today we did have one. Quick break. It's 6:55. We have news coming up top of the hour. Tony Pacenti next hour. Hobica will be here for his free money question today, by the way, Davey. So what is the amount we're looking at this morning?
$1,000.
How much money are we looking at for Hobica's free money question this morning?
1 cent.
You're a little nervous.
There's two types of people.
Why don't you just make it the even $200? I think that's fair.
Okay.
Yeah. Fair enough?
Fair enough.
I will tell you, it is the weirdest thing, though, is when Davey comes up with, like, it's $100, you will watch the frequency of the phone calls decrease tremendously for $100. You have trained people to wait for the $150 or the $200 or even higher.
It's like the Pavlovian response.
Because if you win the $100, you have to wait 30 days to win when, oh, great, it's at $500.
Right.
Or whatever. So just keep that in mind. Also, Tony Pacenti, we have a lot to talk about with him coming up next hour as well at WIBX.
BME Company Business Machines and Equipment has been delivering office solutions for businesses in upstate New York for over 30 years. Their success comes from finding the right document management strategies and software solutions for streamlining workflows. Simply put, BME provides fast, reliable service at the best value to keep your business running smoothly. Through BME's strategic partnership with Hummel's Office Plus, they distribute supplies for just about every machine in your office at a great price. BME welcomes the opportunity to serve your business, selling, leasing, and servicing Canon and Kyocera devices, as well as FP mailing solutions. An important part of BME's culture is supporting the communities they're fortunate to work in, and BME recognizes that support is one reason for their success. The future of business in BME's area is encouraging, and the company is grateful to be a part of that growth. Call BME Company at 315-574-8200 or visit BMEcompany.com. BME Company Office Solutions. Made simple.
Hey, I want to tell you about the Falcon Clinic in Washington Mills, accepting new patients. The Falcon Clinic is the area's premier osteopathic medical clinic, and right now they're accepting new patients. If your doctor is retired, if you're making a change, and people do that as well, if you're in need of a new family doctor, they have you covered. Dr. Shemileski, Dr. Zielinski, and others, all under one roof at the Falcon Clinic. Counseling, acupuncture. There is an adjustment that's done that I take advantage of at the Falcon Clinic that really just loosens everything up. It is about 30 to 40 minutes or so, and once a month changes everything, right down to making sure your sinuses are draining properly. And you wouldn't think that is a big deal, but when you're coming in on allergy season, it is enormous. It's the Falcon Clinic. Call them today. You can schedule an appointment. No referral is needed. 315-507-4751. And when it comes to concrete, driveways and sidewalks and stone walls and old block walls, they have you covered at Brank Construction, B-R-A-N-C-K, Brank Construction. Call today at 315-894-3481. Foundation repair, stairways, cellarway entrances, basement floors, garage floors. Maybe you want, I love the look of a concrete driveway. It's all there. Nobody does concrete better and masonry work than Brank Construction. 315-894-3481.
From the Stanley Theater Studios, WIBX Utica, Rome,
W295EI,
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM, a Town Square media station.
That's me. Okay, and coming up next hour, we'll do Habakkuk's free money question of the day. We've said it's $200, Davey, and he's going to be staring you in the eye when he comes in. So just be aware.
Okay.
And I'll be sure to tell him that you came up with the $200.
Okay.
Okay. And it's Mike this morning who said the Mother's Day storm was in 2013. It was a Mother's Day snowstorm back around 12 years ago.
How many inches of snow did you guys get?
We got probably over a foot, and it was gone in a couple of days.
Oh, so. Yeah, that was the one in May. I remember that one.
And then the amount of money, Wayne says, the amount of money you give away speaks of Davey's mood, and it really, really does.
Yeah, it lets us measure his mojo.
It does. All right, we have news coming up, and then next hour, we'll speak with County Executive Tony Pacini here on a Wednesday morning at WIBX.
Thousands are gathered at the Vatican. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News, for a public viewing of Pope Francis after his casket was moved from where he lived and then died Monday to where Catholics will pay their respects. Fox's Alex Hogan's there.
Pope Francis returning to St. Peter's Basilica behind me for a final time this morning. Cardinals carried out the ritual ceremony of transferring his body there, where it will lay in state for 3 days until the funeral on Saturday. The procession today included cardinals, priests, and members of the Swiss Guard walking the casket from the chapel of Casa Santa Marta, his residence, to St. Peter's.
Now, President Trump will be among the world leaders attending the Pope's funeral Saturday. Comments he's made the past few days have moved the markets, including saying he has no plans to fire the Federal Reserve chairman after he'd called Jerome Powell a major loser, leading to a big stock plunge on Monday.
This is a perfect time to lower interest rates. If he doesn't, is it the end? No. It's not, but it would be good timing.
In reaction to those comments, Dow futures up more than 700 points the day after the Dow surged 1,000 on Trump administration comments hinting at a future reduction of tariffs on Chinese imports. Elon Musk is planning to spend less time at Doge in his controversial work helping the Trump administration make federal job and spending cuts, and more time at Tesla. He's CEO of the struggling electric car company.
Tesla reported a drop in sales and revenue for the first 3 months of the year, likely due to attacks like this, dealerships getting firebombed, cars keyed, and concerns over tariffs. Tesla's net income plunged 71% in the first quarter of this year. Total revenue from car sales dipped 20%.
Fox's Lucas Tomlinson. A wildfire rages near the Jersey Shore, prompting about 3,000 people to evacuate their homes in Ocean County. 8,500 acres of burn. Firefighters have 10% containment. America's listening to Fox News.
When you hear the term living better, what do you think about? More money? A bigger house? Maybe a yacht? What about how you feel physically? How you wake up each day? How you sleep? What activities you can and cannot do? When you feel good, life is good. So if pain is affecting your life, see how Relief Factor can help. Relief Factor is a daily supplement that fights pain naturally. Developed by doctors, it doesn't just mask pain temporarily, it helps reduce or even eliminate pain. In fact, the longer you take it, the more effective it is. So give their 3-week quick start a try. It's only $19.95, less than $1 a day. And it just takes a phone call, 1-800-4-RELIEF. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF. Wherever you're hurting, in 3 weeks or even days, Relief Factor can give you a chance to rediscover the true meaning of living better again. Visit ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4-RELIEF. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF.
More death and destruction in Ukraine. A Russian drone hit a bus carrying civilian workers, killing 9 of them, injuring 40 others. As another attempt to broker a ceasefire has fizzled in London, where a meeting of top U.S., British, French, and Ukrainian diplomats, including Secretary of State Marco Rubio, was canceled today.
President Trump's special envoy Steve Witkoff is returning to Russia this week to continue talks at expanding a ceasefire in Ukraine.
He's made it very clear he wants to see peace, he wants to see this war end, and he wants to stop the killing on both sides of this war.
But White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt concedes President Trump is frustrated with both Russian President Vladimir Putin and Ukrainian leader Volodymyr Zelensky. Secretary of State Marco Rubio said the U.S. won't continue with this endeavor for weeks and months on end. At the White House, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
The FDA is planning to phase out 8 synthetic food dyes by next year. Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. says,
we're going to get rid of the dyes, and then one by one, we're going to get rid of every ingredient and additive in food that we can legally address.
He says those additives we eat are harmful to our health. In the NBA, the Thunder, the best team in the regular season, keep rolling in the playoffs. Oklahoma City beat Memphis 118-99 to go up 2-0. The LA Lakers got even with Minnesota with a 94-85 Game 2 win. In the East,
here's a jumper.
That late 3 helped the Pacers beat the Milwaukee Bucks again on FanDuel Sports Indiana 123-115 to go up 2-0. On the ice, the defending Stanley Cup champs take the opener in this year's NHL playoffs for them, beating Tampa Bay, Florida 6-2. In Toronto overtime,
here's Domi.
Max Domi won it on ESPN. Toronto beat Ottawa in OT. Carolina topped New Jersey. Minnesota beat Vegas. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Good morning. WIBX 950 AM 92.3 FM news time is 7:05. I'm Megan Stone with your news update, brought to you by the new destination Kia of Utica, Commercial Drive, Yorkville. Currently, it's mostly sunny outside, 38 degrees. Your full weather forecast is coming up right after this. A Utica man was arrested on rape charges. According to the Oneida County Sheriff's Office, authorities responded to a sexual assault investigation on April 12th when a female victim went to Wynn Hospital following an alleged assault in New York Mills. Following an investigation, 40-year-old Feroz Khan of Utica was arrested and charged with third-degree rape, which is a Class E felony. He is being held at Oneida County Correctional Facility, awaiting centralized arraignment. The victim, who will not be identified, was offered resources. Chobani Yogurt is investing $1 billion into the city of Rome to construct a new yogurt plant that will create over 1,000 new jobs, and that'll double the company's workforce here in New York. At a press conference yesterday, Governor Kathy Hochul unveiled the $1.2 billion production facility coming to the Griffiths Triangle. Hochul says it is the nation's largest investment in natural food production, and it will transform New York into America's top yogurt producer. Chobani CEO Hamdi Ulukaya said the approximately 1 million square foot plant will process over 12 million pounds of milk a day and produce over 1 billion pounds of dairy products a year. New York Governor Kathy Hochul is getting better poll numbers in several categories. A Siena College survey out yesterday shows 48% of voters now approving the job Hochul is doing. That's up 46% from last month. The poll also shows her favorability rating has improved and is now positive for the first time since January of 2024. Meanwhile, 39% say they are prepared to re-elect Hochul compared to just 34% in a March poll. Meanwhile, 39% say they are prepared to re-elect Hochul compared to just 34% in a March poll. The majority of those surveyed support Hochul on a number of issues, including her push to restrict cell phone use in schools and a mask ban to help prevent people from concealing their identity to commit crimes.
I don't understand how her numbers are going up when we still don't have a budget. And it's getting ridiculous. But again, this is why it's going to be not easy to, especially if you're a Republican, to knock her off. There are still Democrats that are all over her.
Exactly. And it depends on who picks up the phones during these polls, too.
That is another. You got to wonder about the polls.
Exactly. And lastly, Romeo the cat, who was rescued in Rome after his paw was caught in a foothold trap, had to have his leg amputated. The Rome Humane Society told WKTV a Good Samaritan alerted them of the injured cat, and volunteers spent 2 days trying to coax him out from under a porch so they could treat him. Once caught, the foothold trap was removed, and a local veterinarian recommended the amputation. Romeo had his surgery yesterday, and he is now recovering. It is unknown when or if he'll be up for adoption. It is suspected the trap Romeo was caught in was illegally set. Right now, it is 7:08. It's time for your full weather forecast.
Beautiful run of weather here as high pressure is going to stick with us as we head on through today. Clear, little chilly this morning. Maybe even a touch of heat in the car this afternoon. Sunshine, very nice. 65. Tonight, clouds back 43. Still 30s, especially into the Adirondacks. Tomorrow, chance of showers, maybe a thunderstorm in the afternoon. Upper 70s. I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic at the Weather Channel on WIBX, 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
38 degrees right now under mostly sunny skies. Now let's take a look at sports. And sports is brought to you by the IBEW 43 local sports desk. The NBA postseason, it's rolling on. The Pacers took a commanding 2-0 series lead with a 123-115 victory over the Bucks. In other action, the West's top-seeded Thunder took down their own 2-0 series lead after trampling the Grizzlies 118-99 in Oklahoma City. Luka Doncic led the Lakers 94-85 to take down the Timberwolves to tie up the series in Los Angeles. The action continues Wednesday with a trio of Game 2 contests. The Celtics host the Magic, the Cavaliers entertain the Heat, and the Warriors pay a visit to the Rockets. A pair of teams picking at the top of Thursday's NFL draft are trying to shop their selections. ESPN reports that the Browns and Giants are fielding trade calls for the second and third overall picks. Teams interested in moving up are expected to take Colorado two-way star Travis Hunter, Penn State edge rusher Abdul Carter, or Boise State running back Ashton Gentry. A former NFL kicker is looking to win one of Arizona's congressional seats. Jay Feely filed paperwork Tuesday to declare his interest in running. He will seek the GOP nomination for the seat currently held by Republican Andy Biggs, who announced his run for governor earlier this year. Feely played 4 seasons with the Cardinals during his 14-year career. He has been an analyst with CBS Sports Network since 2015. The Yankees have dropped the first 2 games of their series against the Guardians. They fell 3-2 in Cleveland. Mark Leiter Jr. suffered the loss after allowing 1 run on the 3 hits and a walk. Ben Rice slugged his 6th home run of the season. New York still leads the AL East and hopes to salvage the series finale this afternoon. The Mets, they extended their winning streak to 6 games after topping the Phillies 5-1. Griffin Canning grabbed the victory and Luis Torrens drove in a pair of runs. New York leads the NL East and will go for the series sweep when it hosts Philadelphia in the finale this afternoon. And Bill, a comment from Matt from Holland. How do you feel about Juan Soto right now?
Holland Patton, Matt, and it would be great if Matt was in Holland. But I think he's in Holland Patton. It just hits me funny.
If Matt's from Holland, I know where my sister and my niece and my nephew should be there too.
Yes.
Mentally, I was saying the last word, and it just did not come out of my mouth. Don't you hate it when that happens?
Nonetheless, not trying to pick on a little faux pas, which we all do, by the way. However, I am still good with Soto. He's got to find his way, and he will, and he has done a great job in the lineup. I don't care if they paid $1 billion for him. This team is winning, and with this current recipe, Davey, I have a feeling, correct me if I'm wrong, you and Tony Pacini are about to come over to the bright side and become Mets fans.
Who are?
You and Pacini. I think that the two of you. Maybe even Andrew. I feel like... you've got some former Yankees. You've got Nope. Okay. We are doing Hobica's free money question of the day coming up in a few minutes at 7:35. It's worth $200.
That's like saying, if being a Bills fan, why don't you come and be a Jets fan? That will never happen.
That'll never happen. No. Okay. Fair enough. The official coffee of this radio program is Daylight Donuts in New Hartford, and it's Seattle's best. That coffee. I probably don't talk about the coffee enough. The coffee is so good. It's Seattle's best. And the story around this is the other big company out there in Seattle. They were outselling in Seattle so much that the big company came in and bought Seattle's best. So that's where that coffee comes from. That is the coffee they serve at Daylight Donuts, and it is so good. Try the iced coffee, their amazing cold brew coffee, everything made fresh every morning. And, of course, I'm bragging about the new breakfast sandwich, the egg white frittata made with egg white, spinach, tomato, and feta cheese. You could do it on a bagel, an English muffin, or the incredibly delicious homemade croissant. And I'm sure you could say, if you wanted to, like me, I'll take it without any bread. It is really, really good. Check it out at Daylight Donuts in the village of New Hartford. Speaking of New Hartford, and really right across the street, practically from Daylight Donuts, is Steve Lennon and Company Jewelers. Love to brag about these people because Steve and his wife and family and all of those people over there take care of customers every single day, but they have that expertise. Because GIA certified master jewelers, gemologists, even an artist is on staff, ready to help you take your idea, maybe it's your creation, maybe you can't quite get there, but they can take you into creating your own piece of jewelry. It's all done right there. It's really incredible. And if you need repairs done, your very, very important ring, the ring that's so important to you based on maybe it's a family heirloom, or maybe it's your wedding ring, your engagement ring. Doesn't have to be shipped off to be repaired or cleaned. It's done right there in the store. And if you choose, you can stand there and watch it being done. Pretty amazing. The first Bloom Bridal event is now through April 30th at Steve Lennon and Company Jewelers. And it's 30% off engagement ring settings, buy one, get one free wedding bands, in-store 12-month free interest-free financing, some exclusions apply, and an amazing custom bridal line, homemade, custom-made, if you will, wedding bands and wedding rings. And repairs, as we said, done right in-store. Your trusted jeweler for over 30 years. Private appointments upon request. Steve Lennon and Company Jewelers in the village of New Hartford.
The #1 teacher comedy show in the world is back and better than ever. Bored Teachers, The Struggle is Real Comedy Tour. Coming to the Stanley Theater May 2nd. An unforgettable night of laughter. The Bored Teachers bring the comedy curriculum to the concert stage. May 2nd at the Stanley Theater. Tickets at the Stanley Theater box office and Ticketmaster.com. Produced by Magic City Productions.
We love you, thank you! Now at Kubota Orange Days, your local Kubota dealer at White's Farm Supply is delivering the savings you need for the life you love. Join us on Saturday, April 26th at our Waterville location for the exclusive deals on America's favorite compact tractors. We'll help you find the perfect match with special Orange Days financing and savings. Don't miss this chance to save on the Kubota you've always wanted. Only at White's Farm Supply in Waterville on Saturday, April 26th from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m.
White's Farm Supply. Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-885-5995. 800-885-5995. 800-885-5995.
Millions of Americans take medicine like Ozempic and Zepbound. Many of them are overpaying by thousands of dollars a year. These GLP-1 medications for diabetes, weight loss, and more may not always be covered by your insurance, but GoodRx can help. GoodRx helps you save every month on prescriptions at over 70,000 pharmacies nationwide. Best of all, it's free to use. Check GoodRx to save on GLP-1s. Just go to GoodRx.com/GLP. That's GoodRx.com/GLP. GoodRx is not insurance but can be used instead of insurance, including Medicare and other federal and state-funded programs.
Stop putting off registering for the 2025 Boilermaker Road Race because it's almost sold out. People are sprinting to Boilermaker.com to grab their racing bibs before they're gone. Reserve your spot at the starting line now and punch your ticket to the world's best post-race party, where there will be live music, drinks, food, and plenty of surprises. This year's Boilermaker will be bigger and better than ever, but the window to sign up is closing. So run, don't walk, to Boilermaker.com and sign up for one of America's most famous races. See you at the starting line, July 13th.
WIBX.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
Well, we will be talking about yesterday, and we were all of us, Davey as well. We were all at Griffiths at the Sky Dome yesterday watching this. Davey, do you have the paperwork? I don't know what I did with it. And Jeremy, I know it's here somewhere, and I don't know what I did with it. So we were all there. We'll talk about it with County Executive coming up in a few minutes, as Chobani made an amazing announcement that they are investing in a 1 million plus square foot facility, manufacturing facility, and they have new products too that they may come out of here. It's going to mean more needed from dairy farmers in the area, and 1,000 plus jobs as Chobani invests in upstate New York. It's pretty amazing. The story he told about how he had one of Andrew Derminio's postcards that came in the mail. It wasn't Andrew, but it was a real estate agent that said that there's this old yogurt factory in New Berlin or South Edmiston, New York, middle of nowhere, where Kraft had a plant for years, and they're dumping it for like $700,000. He said, I looked at it, I threw it in the garbage. 20 minutes later, I went through the garbage and pulled that back out, and that is the move that led to his purchase of that yogurt plant. And within 5 years, I believe maybe 7 years total, they were up and running within 2 years, and 5 years after that, they were doing over $1 billion in business worldwide.
Yeah,
what a success story.
Chobani is
from
really
a Turkish immigrant who came here shortly after college.
Yeah, and they helped revolutionize Americans' love of Greek yogurt, if you remember.
Yeah, I don't think it wasn't a product, unless you were Greek, it really wasn't a product before that. The Americans.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was healthy.
Let me go to, here we are, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for the one and only Rosenthal Report. And believe me, Megan, don't think that I think I do it any better. Here he is, Jeremy Rosenthal. Maybe we'll just have Andrew voice it for us.
There we go.
Jeremy Rosenthal, good morning.
Good morning, and just so you know, I am on Interstate 35 in the state of Texas with all that thunder and rain, so you might hear it better than Andrew ever did it. You're going to hear it naturally here in a minute.
Oh, he has his own sound effects today.
Yeah, natural sound effects. I love it. I was driving in heavy, rain to the point where your windshield wipers were doing nothing. Yeah. And I'm, kind of white-knuckled on the steering wheel, and this pickup truck came plowing by me doing 90 miles an hour. I don't know, if you're higher up, can you see better in the rain?
Less
I don't know.
fear.
I don't know how he does it.
Lack of self-preservation.
Yeah, you have Texans up in New York State then driving. That's what that is.
Oh, yes. Oh, no doubt about it. All right, Jeremy, you know the deal. I'm going to throw 3 topics at you in the rain, and you tell me what you think. In Minnesota, topic number 1, the U.S. Supreme Court will not save Minnesota age restriction on carrying guns. What is this story?
Right. This is going to affect about 30 states. Obviously, you've got a 6-3 conservative split in the Supreme Court. It's no surprise that a lot of gun rights groups have been quite bullish on sort of challenging and trying to take advantage of the court's current compromise. One of the things that they've targeted are minimum ages. The court in St. Louis, it's the 8th Circuit, they actually came back and said there's no age restriction in the Second Amendment. It's not in there. And they would be correct. And the U.S. Supreme Court said not going to touch it, not going to overturn that, which functionally kind of sort of affirms that, right?
Yeah.
Now, these other 30 states that have restrictions like this, what is that? It doesn't directly overrule their law, but you would think that that's coming. So certainly a victory for gun rights advocates. And, the Second Amendment, anytime we're litigating the Bill of Rights, it really gets complicated.
Oh, yeah, and heated. You know that we, I might have told you this before, but we are 10 minutes, 15 minutes. I grew up, my father was a gunsmith at Remington Arms, where it was founded 200 some odd years ago and no longer exists here.
R.I.P.
Remington Arms. So this is a big, upstate New York in general, as you probably know, is big when it comes to the Second Amendment. And I don't know in New York State if we have had a law that would restrict, has an age restriction. I think that you're brought up as a kid, you go to a gun safety class, your parents get you your first gun, you go out with your dad hunting. All of these things, by the way, I never did. My brothers did. So,
You didn't know you were breaking the law the whole time, did you?
Yeah, I had no idea I was breaking the law.
No, there's going to be exceptions, right? And obviously it's like alcohol. The law will permit, obviously, parental things like that. But, the Second Amendment, no constitutional right is absolute. I don't have the right to yell fire in a theater. And somewhere the Second Amendment is very broad, right? I have the right to keep arms. So somewhere between sticks and stones and enriching uranium, there's a line there, right? And who gets to decide that and how do we do it? It's again, always complicated and, yes, very heated.
Very heated. Topic 2, AI licensing startups bloom in the wake of copyright legal battles. What is this over?
Are you guys into AI? What's your AI IQ? How much of this do you guys partake in?
I got to tell you, I feel like the AI, I think we're all into it, even if we don't think we are, by the way. And the other part is I use it, and I find that we are using 1/10 of what's really out there, and that's a shame. I want to use the stuff they won't release to the public. But, so I think we're probably pretty onto it.
Pretty AI literate. Yeah, it's really good when you're arguing with friends. Like my high school friends, there's 15 of us in a text thread, and I can make fake badges for them. Like, here's the, a-hole of the fun.
Yeah.
And I can say that anyway. but there's a whole, I mean, it is the Wild West for intellectual property. And I'll try to sort of, so basically what's happening is that it is moving so lightning fast that copyright and patent laws are being left in the dust.
Yeah.
What's happening, you're getting collectives now. So think of this. So there's two collectives in particular that have been really aggressive. One, believe it or not, think about this, are voice actors. So there is an AI platform that will replicate your voice or an actor's voice and just distribute it to whatever, the answering machine that you want it to go to. They're bypassing SAG, the union. And SAG doesn't like it because that's their licensing. But so the AI platforms are bypassing, and it's book deals and in other data or to independent journalists, the AI companies, OpenAI and those guys, and some of these platforms are end-arounding the bigger company. They're cutting out the middleman, and it likely violates all sorts of patents and trademark stuff. These companies are like, guess what? We don't care. We're not going to wait till 2028 to get the courts to rule on this. So it is the Wild West.
It is. And, you know, I got to tell you, although there may be a company that I use from time to time, that I will tell you, you see people putting in like national voiceover artists' voices and recreating them. I mean, if you're that national voiceover artist, you're going to have a real problem with that. My guess is that's going to be an issue. But the service that I've used had restrictions, believe it or not. Like I tried to add Trump into it and Biden, and they would not allow that. So my account was dinged because I still tried to use it anyway. So
yes, this means my grandchildren are going to get to watch brand new documentaries with Morgan Freeman narrating in the year 2084.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. And then finally, topic 3, an incoherent New Jersey mom allegedly caught on police body cam video slurring her words. I saw this after she drunkenly plowed into a truck with her 3 young daughters and an open bottle or bottles of wine in her SUV, got out and tried to explain why she shouldn't be arrested. What's this one?
This is pretty terrible. So I'll tell you this. So in my career as a prosecutor and as a defense lawyer, this is where I talk about all the push-ups I can do. I've probably handled about 2,000 DWI cases. 4 times the legal limit is that's high enough for me to say that probably, or Brett says probably has to be wrong. Now, she might only be 3 times the legal limit. Let's be fair to her, right? You know, which is still pretty drunk enough. The surprising part of this story to me is that in New Jersey, it's a misdemeanor. In Texas and in New York, I believe, it is a felony to be listening while intoxicated with the child. So very surprising. And Texas and New York are in the minority of states. Because most of the country, DWI with a child's only a misdemeanor.
That is insane.
Yeah, I know. I think it might be called named after a child who had died. And a parent an adult was driving in the car and was bombed, and the child died. And I know of one case that was a big one here where that happened. And you know, it intensifies the laws. This woman looked blitzed. When you see the video, this woman, she was, there's no way she should be driving. And the kids were 8, 7, and 4, right, in the car?
Oh, that's terrible.
So,
You've dealt with 3 kids at a time before. I mean, look, you know, get hammered at home. That's what, you know, that's if you got to deal with that. No, I joke, but, I mean, no, very tragic. And, again, this is a great way to get CPS in your life if you want that to happen. These kids are young, and mom's going to be back in their life driving them to soccer practice at some point, so she needs some help.
Needs some help. By the way, Joe Malachi, an attorney locally. Joe, thank you. It's Leandra's Law in New York State. Leandra's Law.
Very good.
All right, good stuff, Jeremy. As always, we appreciate it. Thank you so much for everything that you do, even in a storm. Even in heavy rain, he will like a postal worker. He makes his way through it all. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of the week. Thanks so much.
You too. Bye-bye.
All right, Jeremy Rosenthal with Fox News Radio. Becoming, he is actually, when he comes on the air here, he's getting calls at his Texas practice from attorneys here who want to share and bounce things off of him.
That's awesome.
Based on his appearance on this program. I love it. Got a break. Coming up, Tony Pacini is in. By the way, talking about AI, I just had an alert come where somebody was trying to use my credit card in North Carolina for a blood draw, for God's sakes, like a copay they were paying. And they attempted to run my card, and it was caught. That would not happen without AI. So there are really good things. There's an algorithm. Something is sending off the red alert. I get a text message that says, are you trying to spend this in North Carolina right now? And my answer was no, and they stopped the transaction.
That's incredible.
It doesn't happen, though, without AI. So there are good things, and like everything
Not
else,
so great things.
there are people that will take advantage of good things and try to destroy. Megan has a quick update. Then we'll do Hubbecke's free money question of the day. Then County Executive Anthony Pacini, $200 on the line. Great question coming up at WIBX.
Uncertainty, the unknown. These can be some of the greatest fears people face. There is a chance for a life of greater certainty that the Rome Rescue Mission provides. We call it a hand up, not a handout. The Rome Rescue Mission provides the basic necessities and the skills needed to start a new life. It starts simply with someone to talk to. Knowing that someone cares, the Rome Rescue Mission strives to meet basic needs, food, shelter, and clothing, but more importantly, provides emotional and spiritual support. The Rome Rescue Mission helps people start a new and promising life. Being in need is not a choice. Helping is. An unlimited future starts at the Rome Rescue Mission through your generous support. Make a difference and donate now. RomeMission.org. That's RomeMission.org. Rome Rescue Mission. A hand up, not a handout.
Good morning. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM news time is 7:33. I'm Megan Stone with your news update brought to you by the new destination Kia of Utica. Commercial Drive in Yorkville. Right now, sunshine and 40 degrees, your full weather forecast will be coming up right after this. The Central New York economy is going to be getting a major boost thanks to Chobani Yogurt. The company said yesterday it's building a more than $1 billion plant in Rome. The facility will employ about 1,000 people once it's up and running and produce 1 billion pounds of dairy products per year. Chobani picked Oneida County because of its skilled workforce and affordable housing. The hope is the plant will start operations in 2027. A federal jury says the New York Times is not liable for defaming former Alaska Governor Sarah Palin. The jury ruled against Palin's claims on Tuesday that the outlet defamed her in a gun violence editorial. The verdict was the same a jury reached in 2022 during the case's first trial. The Second U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals ordered the new trial last year after it found the judge in the first trial acted improperly when he said he was planning to dismiss the case during deliberations. The former Republican vice presidential candidate sued the New York Times and former opinion editor James Bennett in 2017, arguing an article suggested a campaign ad ran by her PAC inspired a 2011 shooting in Arizona. The remaining wreckage of a fatal plane crash in Greene County is being removed. Last November, pilot Suk Kim and 3 dogs were on board the aircraft when it went down in Windham. The NTSB said it was keeping this wreckage at the site for further examination, but now that everything's been documented, it can be taken away. Due to the accident, the escarpment trail between the Elm Ridge Lean to and top of Windham High Peak remains temporarily closed, but it now is expected to reopen soon. And a fatal rare brain disorder similar to mad cow disease has killed 2 people in Oregon. The deaths were confirmed by the Hood River County Health Department on April 14th. Health officials say the last 8 months, There have been 1 confirmed case and 2 possible cases of the illness. Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease. Of the 3 cases, 2 have died. The health department said that there is currently no identifiable link between the 3 cases, and the risk of getting the disease is extremely low. Your WIBX news time is 7:35. Here is your Weather Center forecast.
Beautiful run of weather here as high pressure is going to stick with us as we head on through today. Clear, little chilly this morning. Maybe even a touch of heat in the car this afternoon. Sunshine, very nice. 65. Tonight, clouds back 43. Still 30s, especially into the Adirondacks. Tomorrow, chance of showers, maybe a thunderstorm in the afternoon. Upper 70s. I'm meteorologist Ray Stejik at the Weather Channel on WIBX, 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Currently 40 degrees and sunny outside. WIBX news time 7:36. I'm Megan Stone.
Davey, it's $200 on the line for Habaika's free money question of the day. You're looking for caller number what?
Caller 4.
Fourth caller right now at 315-736-0186. Caller 4 will do it next, and then County Executive Anthony Pacini on WIBX.
Whitesboro Central School District is looking for bus drivers to join their team now. Whitesboro is a leading school system in central New York with 7 schools, 3,100 students, and a 92% graduation rate. You can help drive our students' success. When you drive for Whitesboro, you get pay that's based on your experience, great benefits, a flexible schedule, and summers off. Call Andy at 315-768-9740 or stop by the garage, 20 Wood Road, Whitesboro.
Clearing out your home or commercial building, John's Cleanouts and Property Preservation will handle it for you. We handle residential or any size commercial property, before and after estate sale cleanouts or any junk removal service. John's Cleanouts and Property Preservation is a 5-star rated and background checked business, providing service you can count on, and we're fully insured in the industry. Call John's Cleanouts and Property Preservation today and take the stress out of your mess.
Attention vendors, crafters, and collectors. Looking for a perfect place to sell your goods and reach thousands of eager shoppers? It's the world's largest yard sale happening again this year at the Herkimer County Fairgrounds, June 14th. It's the ultimate selling opportunity. No more setting up signs, hoping for traffic, or dealing with no-shows. At the world's largest yard sale, thousands of shoppers come ready to buy. Whether you sell antiques, collectibles, handmade crafts, vintage clothing, or secondhand treasures, this is the place to be. But hurry, booth spaces are filling up fast. Secure yours today and get ready to turn your inventory into instant cash. It's the world's largest yard sale at the Herkimer County Fairgrounds, June 14th, featuring the jazz sounds of the Dovetones. For vendor info and booth reservations, visit the events page on this station's website. Don't wait, this event is too big to miss. Sponsored by the Potting Shed Antiques, John's Mobile Homes and Accessories, Standard Heating, Cooling, and Insulating, Clinton Tractor and Implement Company, and James Mitsubishi.
Millions of Americans take medicine like Ozempic and Zepbound. Many of them are overpaying by thousands of dollars a year. These GLP-1 medications for diabetes, weight loss, and more may not always be covered by your insurance, but GoodRx can help. GoodRx helps you save every month on prescriptions at over 70,000 pharmacies nationwide. Best of all, it's free to use. Check GoodRx to save on GLP-1s. Just go to GoodRx.com/GLP. That's GoodRx.com/GLP. GoodRx is not insurance, but can be used instead of insurance, including Medicare and other federal and state-funded programs.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-885-5995. 800-885-5995. 800-885-5995.
WIBX.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
Okay, it's time to do Habaika's free money question of the day. He'll be in a little while. He's running behind. I think he wants to wait and see what you've done today, Davey, by giving away $200 potentially. Larry is in Sequoia, ready to take a shot. The free money question comes from the Habaika Law Firm. Joseph and Andrew Habaika, 315-724-1600. And Larry, good morning. How you doing?
Good morning, Larry.
Good morning. How are you doing?
A double hello for you. That's not everybody gets that.
Impressive.
Yeah.
Impressive.
Your day's going to be something special. Okay. You know the deal. I throw a question at you. You'll have 7 seconds to answer and get it in before the buzzer, and you win. And this morning it's $200, despite Hobica's displeasure. Okay. You ready to go?
Ready.
All right, Larry, here it is. This former Utica mayor never got to enjoy beer from the FX Matt Brewery. It launched the year he died. Who is he? Ready, go.
Oh, man, that's a tough one.
It is kind of tough, but there's a name. There's a name that we were just talking about with attorney Frank Policelli the other day. That is a legendary Utican. Davey wants to take a guess. Davey, take a guess.
Roscoe Conkling.
That is correct. Yes.
No.
He died in 1888.
That is an old one.
Yeah, old. The year, of course, the FX Matt Brewery launched. The county executive, Anthony Pacini, you knew the answer to that.
I did.
You did, yeah.
He wins the $200 then. I do.
Oh, you're going to get it. Okay.
No.
You work that out with Hobica when he comes in.
He's standing in the hallway with the golf club, Davey.
Larry,
I'd be very careful.
Larry, I'm going to give you the all-in-one food and fun card. It's $200 gift card to any of the games at the Odd, the Nexus Center, even in their gift shop if you wanted to pick up a Comets hat or something, or any of the restaurants as well, including Taylor and the Cook, Aquavino, Babes. Stand by. Davey's going to take care of you, okay?
All right, thank you.
All right, Larry, thanks so much. Larry in Sequoia. In studio right now is County Executive Anthony Pacenti, and good morning.
Good morning.
Well, listen, who was it? It might have been Buckley. It might have been Nancy Ford, because everybody was working yesterday. You had them all working yesterday.
Yeah, we did.
We had a lot of
people working.
A lot of work going on in the area to capture this incredible moment. One of the greatest moments I feel for this community in a long, long time, because it's such a good company.
It is.
But I think they describe you when you came out as smile ear to ear. You could not be happier than you were yesterday.
No, I really couldn't. It's been a long journey, even though it was a short kind of piece, but it was very intense. A lot of hard work by a lot of people.
Yeah. Can I ask you to just tilt that microphone up right towards
a
you?
lot of work by a lot of good people, and just dealing with a great company. And you saw that yesterday, and then, the production they put on. I mean, that was them, and that's what they're about. And
so if you didn't get a chance, listen, I thought your speech was tremendous.
I appreciate it.
I thought everybody did a tremendous job. The Lanigan speech, I thought was really good.
Jeff did a great job.
But the owner of Chobani, without any paperwork, just walked up there and talked, and it was a moment that if you could go to the county executives, the county's website or a Facebook page, and the corrected stream is up there.
Good.
And you can just fast forward, watch Tony. You should watch Tony. But his story about throwing the postcard in
he
the
tells
garbage,
that all the time.
It's a great story. And then the way he spoke of his employees and how he really cast all of the accolades on to other people. This guy knows how to run a company.
It really, and the story is a great one when you look at it. And I truth is, I met him, some 20 some years ago when I was with ESD, when he just had a little cheese company in Johnstown.
Oh, okay, that's where it came. He mentioned Johnstown.
Euphrates
okay.
cheese.
Yep.
And I had done a project with them when he first opened that, and that was a very small. It was a small operation, but successful over there. And then that's when he came into he talked about how the yogurt plant, the former plant,
Kraft.
Kraft plant that was for sale. That was closing
and his attorney who said,
"Yeah, you don't have it.
Listen,
you don't have any money.
Number one, you owe me $20,000.
Yeah, you owe me money.
You have no money. Number three, this is a huge company that they know something you don't know, and they're trying to dump it off on somebody stupid.
And the funny thing was, the story about him painting, them painting. Well, we're going to paint it first.
Yeah.
And then the other guy telling him one of his.
I was thinking of Rob Esch painting the
odd.
Yeah,
painting the odd. I mean, same kind of thing. But Rob had an idea of what to do.
He did.
Hamdi was like, the other gentleman was like, okay, so is this your plan to just paint it, or are we going to do something else? But it's a remarkable story, and the fact that they have expanded into other areas and have grown, and then this opportunity. And this was really a mixed, there's a great story here. I mean, it's from when we started hearing that they were looking around. And, I can say a lot of things now that I couldn't say before, and nothing bad. Don't get me wrong in that regard. But it was, we really don't want to look there. Because they were concerned it wasn't about Rome, New York, and it wasn't about Oneida County. So let me clear that up. It wasn't about that. It was about the site.
Yeah.
Because it's like, it's an airport. It's
cold.
And you remember, it goes back to all of these companies, and have been doing this a long time. So they deal with site selectors, and they hire firms, as you know, and those people come up and they kick the tires, or they start looking on Google Maps at all these things before they even make the trip, and they're like, it's by an airport. It's on a runway.
Yeah.
It's on a runway. And
Mm-hmm.
they're like, we don't want that.
Yeah.
And then it was like, well, wait a minute, you got to come and look. And so we went back and forth a few times.
For every reason, the concert goers who went to Woodstock afterwards said this was a terrible place for it.
Right.
I mean, when I say cold, it's not he's all about the rolling hills and the trees and the beauty, and so that's not that.
But that's not that. But it was, so it was back and forth a little bit. And now we're not looking there. And then it was pretty much at one point I really thought we were out of even to have them come and look at it. I mean, it was it was after the tornado, I think, and
really?
I ran into some of the...
Really? So this is that recent?
Oh, yes.
Wow.
Yes. And so it was after that, and it was like...
Which means this happened so fast.
And it was like, okay, now we're going in another direction. And so it was like, we were just kind of, still kept prodding.
Yeah.
Still kept
almost
poking.
felt like an insult to injury in the beginning.
Yeah, still kept poking, though. And then, sometime around September, it started heating up again. And they started looking, and then I got a call and said, Hamdi wants to come up. And I'm like, great,
let's do it.
Bring him.
Whenever.
Bring
I don't care.
but
Bring
come up.
Roll out the red carpet, man.
And he came, and I talked a little bit about this yesterday, but I didn't say when. He came up. It was Columbus Day. Interestingly enough, and they said, it was Columbus Day, and I said, I don't care, we'll be there. We're there. It's Columbus Day. And it was that Monday, and it was a rainy kind of day too. It was, October. It was cold. It was damp. It was raining, and we're like, But anyway,
gloomy. Not the weather.
He came in, and we spent I forgot how many hours. First at the airport in the conference room, and just talking and hammering out, showing maps and talking and laying out and looking at that. And then we drove out to the site in the rain, and got out even just to look at what was there. And so, that was a big sign for us. And, he talked to me that day, and he and I talked for a while alone after, and he was like, look, if we do this, and I said this yesterday, he goes, we'll shake hands. We'll have it. He goes. I don't need to go through all this, and I'm going to deal with you, and we're going to deal one-on-one, and we're going to go, and we're going to figure this out.
He talked about that. That was part of his speech yesterday.
Yeah, and then it just started moving, and then we had to start looking at, and we had been working on the triangle for the last couple of years, as I said. I mean, we've been working with the state to get get some more funding for the infrastructure improvements, and then needed more, and so it just started snowballing. But we still had competition because they were still talking very in-depthly to Michigan.
Oh, it was
Really?
Michigan.
It was Michigan.
Because he wanted someplace, he said yesterday, in between New York and Idaho.
I think it was Michigan.
Yeah.
And so then it's and then it becomes the chess match because it's they've got this. Well, okay, we've got that, and their incentive here, and just I don't want to say a back and forth, but it was tweaks here and there, and
a lot of strategy.
But the convincing thing, I think, still, because I always say this, and I've said it for years, because I learned that in economic development. Everybody has land.
Yes.
Every state has incentives, and every area is going to bend over where they can backwards to get a company in whether it's in tax breaks, whether it's in incentives, whether it's in training dollars, whether it's in the land or the other pieces. So you've got that competition, but you've got to really, have the competition of and the advantage we had was, as he said, this is his home. He believed in here, and he told me that day as well when we had talked.
He considers himself now a New Yorker.
He does. He doesn't. I mean, he obviously goes home to his homeland from time to time, but
seems to have a relationship with the governor. Actually, a really good relationship.
They've talked, obviously, and when he moved his headquarters into New York City, in Soho, they have their headquarters there. He does have he believes in New York and has a strong presence, and that's why he, I think, that was an advantage we had, obviously, in this site. But the site was, and the other thing is, and talk about it because I've talked about it here, because it came up when they were looking at the triangle. He said, and he pointed as we were looking at the map and the land mass, and said, "What about this parcel over here?" And that was the golf course.
Right.
And I said, and we had really been in negotiations on the golf course prior to them, because that was something we had always envisioned, and with all due respect to the owner there, he did a great job with that course over the years, but that was always in some sense of economic development for us, because it's a great parcel and it attaches on to what is there. You have Mohawk Glen on the other side. You got the ball fields. You got the triangle piece that is there. So, that has always been, not a buffer, but really another development site. And he said, "Can you think you can get that?" And I said, "I'll have it by the end of the week."
Yeah.
And I called him, and then we met on Monday. I made the deal on the golf course on Wednesday. I called him up, I think either Wednesday night or Thursday, and I said, "I got the golf course." And he was
wow.
He was like, "Okay, all right."
So is the golf course a part of the?
Not yet.
Phase 2.
It's phase 2. It would be phase. It would be phase 2.
Can I ask you about phase 1? Sounds really, really good. 1,000+ jobs.
Yes.
Phase 2.
Who knows? Who knows what it'll be? But they, and the point there is the expanse of the product development that they have undergone. They started with yogurt. They've got the creamer. They got the coffee company that they bought, into. They're doing a high energy drink now. I mean, and some other products, and I just see them doing more and more.
All about health. They were
all about nutrition.
Packing boxes yesterday.
They did boxes. That was another thing.
The
that was
food bank,
and that was what they wanted to show. That's not just a one. That's not just a one-off. I mean, they do that all the time.
But the guy knows the names of every employee. I don't want to say every employee.
Oh no, he does.
But he calls people by name,
and they know him,
and they know him. And the other thing is, I really believe he kept calling you like them, his brother.
My brother, yeah.
And I do believe that incentives, tax breaks, blah blah, all that stuff. But at the end of the day, he seemed to make a connection with you.
Yeah, we I guess we really hit it off, and like I said, I had met him years ago, and I'd run into him from time to time, but never to the extent. But over the last several months, we talk, and a lot of his people, and he even told when I introduced him to my wife Eleanor yesterday, he said he's my brother. He said he told her that, and he's a very genuine genuine individual.
I do have, and I'm sorry, I keep looking away, but my credit card has been hacked, and I'm having a conversation with the card company here. Sorry, but I do have somebody ask. Hold on, go, and your mic is now live.
You want to take a break, Bill?
Yeah, I might have to.
Tony and I could take over the show.
I have somebody asking here from a school district standpoint.
Sure.
Please ask the county executive, is there any type of pilot agreement with Chobani, or is it a community host agreement, or is there nothing like that? Asking how this will affect the Rome School District.
No, there is a pilot agreement. We haven't, we still have to, finalize that. So that'll be going to the IDA, the Oneida County, the OCIDA in the next couple weeks.
Okay.
And that'll be outlined there. There are, that has been, that's a major part of any project. So, but remember, here's the other point on that pilot agreement, because I know people always question that. Nobody's getting anything on it now.
Right,
So everything is nothing, because we own the property actually, through, and the airport property, no taxes are being paid there now. So, what comes is a bonus.
Okay.
And the jobs are a bonus. And the other benefit is, the number of people that will be employed there, and new people that will be employed there, and housing. The mayor talked about, Jeff talked about the housing, and the growth, over at, not the Bonaccios doing, and the housing development that's taken place. That's only going to boost.
I also love the, VVS. They've done a great job of working with Cooperative Extension, and they have their maple syrup program, and imagine what Chobani can do with the Rome School District.
Oh yeah, and that's what they wanted to show. I think yesterday the production that they put on was about showing what they're about.
Yeah,
the giveaways, the food, the food boxes. 500 boxes went through the food bank of full meals. We filled those boxes. We filled a few of them just to look at them and to see what they were putting on them. But they do that all the time.
Yeah.
That's not a one-off, just, let's do this to make everybody feel good.
Yeah.
They do this all the time. Their people are out doing it all over the place.
They knew what they were. This is something they do. They do. They don't do it just
and
once.
I want to answer one thing I heard before when somebody said, well, where are we going to get those? Where are we going to get,
employees.
Jobs?
Well,
so it always intrigues me because, I hear all the time and everybody does about, we need more jobs. We need more jobs. We need more jobs. Then we get more jobs and they're like, well, how are you going to fill those jobs?
Right,
we are going to fill those jobs. These are, and these are really well-paying jobs. I think that once you see the scope of what it is, and he talked about the technology. It's different today. This factory is going to be different than what is down in South Ed. Because it's it's going to be state of the art. It's going to be more
calling it a campus.
But it's going to need those people.
Yeah,
he's going to need those people, and hopefully we'll do more.
The mayor talked about housing is moving in the right direction in Rome, so there will be people most likely that will move here to work there.
There will,
and that's also a good thing.
It is. Good problems to have.
Yeah, very good problems to have. All right, this is a biggie.
It is.
Congratulations.
Thank you. No, thank you. And thanks to everybody that was involved. It was, I want to thank the mayor, his staff has been great with us because of the engineering, the water, the sewer, the connections we've got to do. So we've been working very closely together. I can't say enough about that. And Mohawk Valley Edge, my team, on the county end.
Yeah.
Really.
My God, you actually were able to, and this is shocking to me, you were able to hand the governor and Elise Stefanik a shovel, and they were only 4 people in between them, and because there's a bit of tension there. Everybody came together, no matter what.
Yeah,
your party affiliation.
They did.
It seemed to be that way.
And it worked. It was a great event.
Yeah,
and we've got a lot more work to do, and. But like I said, it's great.
Prepare yourself. You're going to be in the grocery store picking out yogurt, and you're going to pick another brand, and somebody's going to walk up to you and say, "You really should."
No, I have
choose
Chobani. We've always had Chobani.
Always,
yes, in the fridge.
All right, good stuff.
Thank you.
Congratulations,
Thank you very much.
Chobani, with an enormous announcement. News coming up next to W.
From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX Utica, Rome.
W295EI.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM, a Town Square media station.
Saying farewell to Pope Francis. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. That's what thousands are doing at the Vatican in the first of 3 days of public viewings.
And we were meant to have an audience with him today, and we will do, but not in the way that we expected.
The viewing began after cardinals led a procession as pallbearers carried the Pope's casket from the residence, where he died Monday at the age of 88, to St. Peter's Basilica, where the viewings are taking place ahead of Saturday's funeral. Now, President Trump will be at that funeral. He's been moving stock markets the past few days with statements that led to a Monday plunge and then a 1,000-point Dow rebound yesterday as the president hinted at a de-escalation with China, suggesting tariffs will come down.
145% is very high, and it won't be that high.
Dow futures now up about 700 points before today's trading after the president said he has no plans to fire Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell.
Just this week, there was that suggestion that maybe Trump would try to push him out of the job, but Trump said last night that he no longer feels that is the case. But of course, he wants to see interest rates brought down sooner rather than later.
Another Russian drone attack. That was, by the way, Fox's Mark Meredith at the White House. Another Russian drone attack in Ukraine hit a bus carrying civilians, killing 9 of them. As high-level ceasefire talks fizzled today, Secretary of State Marco Rubio will not gather with top diplomats from Britain, France, Germany, and Ukraine like planned.
The meeting will now only be attended by lower-ranking officials. They're due to talk about a U.S. peace proposal that would see Crimea officially recognized as Russian. The strategically important peninsula was illegally annexed by Russia in 2014. Ukraine has rejected the idea.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. The FDA wants to make food companies stop using petroleum-based dyes to color our food, planning to phase 8 of them out by next year. Commissioner Marty McCary just told Fox.
These dyes have been associated with obesity and diabetes. They've been associated with attention deficit disorder, hormone disruption.
America's listening to Fox News.
When you hear the term living better, what do you think about? More money? A bigger house? Maybe a yacht? What about how you feel physically? How you wake up each day? How you sleep? What activities you can and cannot do? When you feel good, life is good. So if pain is affecting your life, see how Relief Factor can help. Relief Factor is a daily supplement that fights pain naturally. Developed by doctors, it doesn't just mask pain temporarily, it helps reduce or even eliminate pain. In fact, the longer you take it, the more effective it is. So give their 3-week quick start a try. It's only $19.95, less than $1 a day. And it just takes a phone call, 1-800-4-RELIEF. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF. Wherever you're hurting, in 3 weeks or even days, Relief Factor can give you a chance to rediscover the true meaning of living better again. Visit ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4-RELIEF. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF.
Yet another LGBTQ issue has reached the Supreme Court in a case that involves both religious liberty and parents' rights.
The Supreme Court will decide whether the Montgomery County Education Board can refuse allowing parents to pull kids from lessons involving books with themes of gender and sexuality.
This is not a matter of banning curriculum or stopping others from following their beliefs. It is about protecting our right as parents to decide what our children learn and when.
Melissa Persak among a group of Christian, Jewish, and Muslim parents suing, arguing this violates their First Amendment right to freedom of religion. The board adopted the lessons in 2022 to better represent all families and allowed parents to opt kids out until early 2023 when it stopped that option. In court records, it says teachers are not allowed to enforce a particular viewpoint. Kristen Goodwin, Fox News.
And while that controversy simmers in Maryland, there's yet another legal battle over another gender issue in Minnesota involving the controversy over biological males in women's sports.
Minnesota Attorney General Keith Ellison has filed a preemptive lawsuit against the Trump administration, seeking to block the White House from acting against Minnesota in the same way it's taking on Maine.
I'm not going to sit around waiting for the Trump administration to sue Minnesota.
Both states are refusing to comply with Trump's executive order banning transgender females from playing in girls' or women's sports under Title IX. The administration has sued Maine, seeking to pull funding. Ellison says the White House is trying to bully vulnerable children. But the administration says it's trying to protect female athletes from being bullied by being forced to compete with stronger and faster biological males. Tom Rigotti, Fox News.
In the NBA playoffs, the Thunder roll.
SGA over the shoulder pass. Dort will fire away.
Oklahoma City, the top seed in the West, beat Memphis 118-99 on FanDuel Sports Oklahoma to go up 2-0. Indiana top Milwaukee 123-115 to also go up 2-0. The LA Lakers got even with Minnesota, taking game 2 94-85. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
Good morning, WIBX 950 AM 92.3 FM news time is 8:05. I'm Megan Stone with your news update. Brought to you by the new destination Kia of Utica, Commercial Drive in Yorkville. Right now it is sunny, under 42 temperatures. Your full weather forecast is coming up next. Utica police are investigating a homicide in the city. Authorities say their ShotSpotter program alerted them of gunfire near the Kemble and Walker Street intersection. Officers noted a car speeding away as they approached the scene and learned it was taking an injured man to Wynn Hospital. Despite life-saving measures, the victim succumbed to his wounds. Utica police are now searching through multiple scenes to identify a suspect. Anyone with information about this incident is urged to call UPD at 315-223-3556 or leave a completely anonymous tip to Mohawk Valley Crime Stoppers at 866-730-8477. Chobani Yogurt is investing $1 billion into the city of Rome to construct a new yogurt plant that will create over 1,000 new jobs and will double the company's workforce in New York. At a press conference yesterday, Governor Kathy Hochul unveiled the $1.2 billion production facility that's coming to the Griffiths Triangle. Hochul says it is the nation's largest investment in natural food production and will transform New York into America's top yogurt producer. Chobani CEO Hamdi Ulukaya said the approximately 1 million square foot plant will process over 12 million pounds of milk a day and produce over 1 billion pounds of yogurts and other products a year. New York State can pay its bills for at least another couple of days after lawmakers approved a seventh budget extender. The legislature was back at the Capitol yesterday trying to negotiate a state budget that's now 3 weeks late. Neither the Senate or Assembly are in session today, but will get back to work tomorrow. That means even if an agreement is reached this week, budget bills won't be printed and be put up for a vote until sometime next week. And Sam's Club is phasing out its in-person checkouts at all of its 600 locations. The retail giant will replace its checkouts with a scan and go and just walk technology, so customers will have to scan their goods on the Sam's Club mobile app. Then an AI scanner will check the goods when a customer leaves the store. Your WIBX news time is 8:08. Here is your Weather Center forecast.
Beautiful run of weather here as high pressure is going to stick with us as we head on through today. Clear, a little chilly this morning. Maybe even a touch of heat in the car this afternoon. Sunshine, very nice. 65. Tonight, clouds back 43. Still 30s, especially into the Adirondacks. Tomorrow, chance of showers, maybe a thunderstorm in the afternoon. Upper 70s. I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic at the Weather Channel on WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Currently, it's 42 degrees under sunny skies. Your WIBX news time is 8:08. Now let's take a look at sports. All right, your sports brought to you by IBEW 43 Local Sports Desk. The NBA postseason, it's rolling on. The Pacers took a commanding 2-0 series lead with a 123-115 victory over the Bucks. In other action, the West's top-seeded Thunder took their own 2-0 series lead after trampling the Grizzlies 118-99 in Oklahoma City. Luka Doncic led the Lakers to a 94-85 takedown of the Timberwolves to tie up the series. The action continues today with a trio of Game 2 contests, the Celtics hosting the Magic, Cavaliers and the Heat, and the Warriors versus the Rockets. A pair of teams picking at the top of Thursday's NFL draft. They're trying to shop their selections. ESPN reports that the Browns and Giants are fielding trade calls for a second and third overall pick. Teams interested in moving up are expected to take Colorado two-way star Travis Hunter, Penn State edge rusher Abdul Carter, or Boise State running back Ashton Gentry. A former NFL kicker is looking to win one of Arizona's congressional seats. Jay Feely filed paperwork Tuesday to declare his interest in running. He will seek the GOP nomination for the seat currently held by Republican Andy Biggs, who announced his run for governor earlier this year. Feely played 4 seasons with the Arizona Cardinals during his 14-year career. He has been an analyst with CBS Sports Network since 2015. The Yankees dropping their first 2 games of their series against the Guardians after falling 3-2 in Cleveland. Mark Leiter Jr. suffered the loss after allowing 1 run on 3 hits and a walk. Ben Rice slugged his 6th home run of the season, and New York leading the AL East and hopes to salvage the series finale this afternoon. The Mets, they're extending their winning streak to 6 games. They topped the Phillies 5-1. Griffin Canning grabbed the victory, and Luis Torrens drove in a pair of runs. New York also leads the NL East, and they go for a series sweep, hosting Philly for the finale this afternoon. Your WIBX news time is 8:11, 42 degrees and sunny outside. I'm Megan Stone.
Okay, and I have a little song in here for you that somebody has requested, and I'll explain why they requested it, Joe.
Okay.
Joe Micah. And I'm not sure that I agree. They say we tend to disagree with each other always, and that's what people seem to enjoy. They like fights.
Mm-hmm.
People like a good fight. So that's what they're hoping for. And they added this song to explain, and this is a throwback. This is an oldie. I don't think I've played this thing in years, but they feel it should be our, not your theme song. It should be our theme song.
Our theme song?
Okay, and I'll explain coming up in a second. Neck pain, back pain, knee pain, wrist pain, arthritis, shoulders. If you have pain, Revive Softwave Therapy with Dr. Timothy Del Medico can help. It's FDA cleared, non-invasive, drug-free treatment for chronic pain, inflammation, and all joint issues. Ask about the $99 new patient special. Introductory discovery session includes a consultation with one of the doctors, softwave therapy treatment, and a recovery plan and assessment. Mine will include, 8 different sessions. And you feel it working. You know it's working. And it is trusted by pro athletes and medical experts around the country. That includes the Yankees, the New York Giants, Lakers, Cubs, Steelers. The list goes on. Call today and schedule an appointment. 315-725-8427. Revive Softwave Therapy with Dr. Timothy Del Medico. And if you want stress to go away, money always helps. And we give it away here.
Yes, your Keeler's cash code for this hour. Get ready to head to WIBX950.com and under the Win Keeler's Cash tab, enter the code right now, 444. Again, the code for the 8 a.m. hour is 444. It could win you $1,000. Good luck.
And we'll do Habaika coming up, and I'll reveal that song coming up here. Hold tight, WIBX.
Now, you know that no one else in New York State has all the brands under one roof that Mattress Express has. Tempur-Pedic, Stearns & Foster, Sealy, Purple, Puffy, the Smart Bed by Instant Comfort, Posh & Lavish, Therapeutic, and the largest selection of FlexEd beds in New York State. But when these companies come out with new models, we get left with brand new inventory of the old model and floor models that we have to sell off as clearance, and that's where you save. These come with the full manufacturer's warranty, many of them still in the original packaging, brand new stuff. Right now, come into Mattress Express, pick a king or queen clearance model and even some new models and get a free adjustable base. Save over what you would have paid originally and get a free adjustable base. Take up to 5 years to pay with no money down for qualified buyers, and we have no credit check payment plans. Go to mattressexpressny.com for locations. Call 1-800-NEW-BEDS.
Imagine this. You're coming down the stairs. You miss a step, but you catch yourself. And that's when you feel it. It's your knee, and it really hurts. Now you have to make a choice. The faster you see an orthopedic specialist, the sooner you'll be on your way to recovery. Choose Community Memorial Center for Orthopedics and get seen today at our new walk-in clinic in New Hartford. You'll get fast access to world-class orthopedic care. We have imaging on site, and you'll be treated by Dr. Rochelle Takamoto. She's one of the most respected orthopedists in the area, and she's done more VELYS robotic-assisted surgeries than any female physician in the world. So whether it's a new injury or a long-term pain in any joint, walk into our clinic today and get treated by one of the best orthopedic specialists in the area. That's Community Memorial Center for Orthopedics, with clinics weekdays in Hamilton and now every Wednesday at 83 Genesee Street in New Hartford. Visit orthoemergency.com.
Empowered Pathways invites you to an unforgettable evening. Come to the table. Happening Friday, May 16th at Harts Hill Inn in Whitesboro. Enjoy a cocktail hour from 5:30 to 6:30. Stunning table designs by local artists, silent auctions, themed baskets, and a delicious dinner prepared by Harts Hill Inn.
And don't miss the highlight of the night, an exciting live auction where you can go home with a one-of-a-kind designer table. Hosted by Susan Knackley with live music from local favorite Ronnie Lee. It's a night you won't want to miss.
Proceeds support Empowered Pathways' life-changing programs, from conflict resolution and job training to youth and family services, making a real impact right here in our community.
Doors open at 4:30. The fun kicks off at 5:30. Join us Friday, May 16th at Harts Hill Inn. Learn more at empoweredpathwayscny.org. That's empoweredpathwayscny.org.
Now at Kubota Orange Days, your local Kubota dealer at White's Farm Supply is delivering the savings you need for the life you love. Join us on Saturday, April 26th at our Waterville location for the exclusive deals on America's favorite compact tractors. We'll help you find the perfect match with special Orange Days financing and savings. Don't miss this chance to save on the Kubota you've always wanted. Only at White's Farm Supply in Waterville on Saturday, April 26th from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m.
White's Farm Supply.
Country rock trailblazer, Brantley Gilbert, the Tattoos Tour 2025. Adirondack Bank Center, Friday, April 25th, with special guests Travis Denning and Peyton Smith. Get tickets now at EmpireStateTix.com. The brand new album Tattoos is available everywhere. For more, visit BrantleyGilbert.com. Produced by Pepper Entertainment.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-885-5995. 800-885-5995. 800-885-5995.
Millions of Americans take medicine like Ozempic and Zepbound. Many of them are overpaying by thousands of dollars a year. These GLP-1 medications for diabetes, weight loss, and more may not always be covered by your insurance, but GoodRx can help. GoodRx helps you save every month on prescriptions at over 70,000 pharmacies nationwide. Best of all, it's free to use. Check GoodRx to save on GLP-1s. Just go to GoodRx.com/GLP. That's GoodRx.com/GLP. GoodRx is not insurance but can be used instead of insurance, including Medicare and other federal and state-funded programs.
Hey, Central New York, this is Will Kane of The Will Kane Show, and you can now hear my show every weekday at WIBX. I do things a little differently when I'm behind the microphone because I turn it over to the listeners to learn and really dig into the issues that impact everyday Americans. The Will Kane Show lets you keep ahead of the headlines and understand what's really going on in the world with in-depth discussions from leading experts and the brightest minds. From politics to sports, nothing is off topic. Listen to The Will Kane Show weekdays at 6, only on WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
WIBX.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
Okay, all right, I'm coming. I'm just trying to figure all this stuff out. Before we talk to Habaika, home improvement needs on your wish list like windows, siding, or a bathroom remodel. I'm not sure how to pay for it all. New York Stash makes it easy with flexible financing options. They understand that upgrading your home is a very big investment, which is why they offer a range of financing programs with low monthly payments, competitive interest rates, and plans to fit your budget. You can get pre-approved quickly and easily with no impact on your credit score. They use a soft credit pull, meaning there would be nothing on your credit report unless you went forward with the financing. The team at New York Sash will walk you through everything, design details, payment plans. You can finally start the project you've been dreaming about. It's springtime, and you can do it without that financial stress. Visit New York Sash Idea and Design Center in Whitesboro. Go online, newyorksash.com, or call them and start your pre-approval today at 315-624-7344. I will tell you firsthand, both houses that we have had, the last house that we're in and the current house, New York Sash windows, and they make a huge difference. In studio right now is attorney Joe Habaika.
Good morning, Bill.
So apparently we disagree on everything.
I don't
think we do, really.
I don't think we do either.
However, and this is pulled from the woodwork from Wayne, and he did not even know the name of the song, but said it was about disagreeing and hanging up on a person. Okay? So he said it should be the Keeler Habaika theme. So here we go.
I don't know what you're trying to say. I'm disconnecting anyway, whatever it is. I'm against it. No matter what it is you're trying to say, I'm against it. Your proposition sounded dumb, but hanging up on you was fun, whatever you said. We're against it. And even if you call and change your mind, we're against it.
It's kind of like a little, like we're doing a Broadway show or something there.
Yeah, I thought it was great.
Whatever you, I don't know what it's playing now, but whatever you say, whatever, and the way I look at it is whatever I say, you're against it.
That's 100% correct.
Yeah, that is the way it is. Davey.
You know what the classic theme song is? It's the Joe Habaika radio show.
I know, and it's unfortunate that was lost.
Well, that one wasn't lost.
The original one.
The original, which was, and I can't even find that here. The original was, do you remember when we used to give away the money and the free money question? And we'd pick the amount. This was like in the very beginning. Mm-hmm. We'd pick the amount with like a little computer thing. And it would sound like this. If I can get it to play.
That's a roulette wheel, right?
Yeah.
$300.
$300. Kind of like depressed.
Well, now based on everything that's going on in the economy, Bill, I was thinking that we probably have to, recess. Recess the amounts.
Ah, right. What does that mean?
Well, I don't know. I was thinking about that this morning. I mean, because number one,
somebody putting a tariff on your.
No, I for example, I was listening to somebody on a podcast.
Yeah,
and he was talking about the recession. His expertise is in geopolitical. Science, and he does these lectures every day, and and I watch him, and he analyzes different issues in the.
And this has been quite a roller coaster ride.
It has been a roller coaster.
Yeah.
So, I'm just wondering exactly what's going to happen, which leads me to, the Utica school budget is up for a vote. We're not increasing the tax levy this year, but, we have a $65 million capital project, which is going to address a number of improvements and repairs at the various schools,
which could save money in the long run.
Which ultimately will
save money.
But and I think Utica pays 8% of the $65 million, so it's the way the aid formula goes.
Yeah.
I think it's 8, but I'm sorry. Then again, it might be 2. It's either 2 or 8, and I'm drawing a blank on it right now. But
I think it's 2.
It might be 2.
Yeah.
But the issue is going to be, okay, how far are we going to be able to stretch these dollars, and what are we not going to be able to do. And
how many times can you go without a tax increase when everything around you is rising? The prices are rising.
Right, but I'm saying that as part of that project, obviously costs are going to escalate. So the money that we anticipated, the $65 million, we don't know how far that's going to spread. So our next set of projects may end up having to be pushed as well because
cost of materials,
and everything else that's going on. And then, we don't, there's the uncertainty with what's going to happen with federal funds, right? You don't know where that's going. And then you have state funds as well, our state funding. So we actually have exigency plans built in now based on things that were going on. We started working on those during January.
This is very funny because yesterday, Hamdi, who is the owner of Chobani, was asked this question.
By the way, makes tremendous donations to the
Utica
school district all the time with food.
Well, he lived in Utica for a while and started in Johnstown making with a little small cheese business. But look where he is today. They do billions of dollars in business here and around the world. It's incredible. And then the investment in Rome. But yesterday he was asked about, I don't know if you asked it, Megan, or who asked the question, but do you anticipate you're about to build a new plant? And now we're dealing with tariffs, and we're dealing with steel and all sorts of additional
electronics.
Taxes. Correct. And his answer to that I thought was very interesting because he said, "Well, I really don't get into the political stuff because it's somewhat cyclical. One administration comes in and it's done a certain way, and then the next administration comes in." So he said, but if these tariffs continue to be in place, and especially you have China, you have other countries, including Mexico and Canada, he said it will cost us significantly more to build this plant.
Well,
and that's what you're dealing with.
Well, that's exactly right. So, this might be one of the first industrial investments, even though it tends to be agricultural. All of this stuff was intended to initiate industrial investment. But the fact of the matter is that, business doesn't like uncertainty, right?
So
that's how the markets are reflected right now.
The investment is happening despite.
Correct, which I say he's a brave man,
pretty
a
amazing,
conscientious man, and I think it's a testament to his his fortitude and his vision. But the reality is throughout the
scary
rest
world
of the
right
country,
now.
It's a scary world in terms of the uncertainty.
Okay, we'll talk about more. You want to hang for a second? I got to take a quick break, and Megan's going to do a quick update. We'll chat a little bit. Then Ryan Noble's coming up in a bit. Oh, and I do have Larry with a question. So why don't I get these all out of the way first? Larry, you're on the radio. No, this is Lucy. You're on the radio with a question for Joe Habaika. Good morning, Lucia. Good morning.
Hello.
Morning. How are you?
Lucy, you're on with Mr. Habaika.
Oh, yes. Hi, Mr. Habaika. I wanted to tell you that you're a great lawyer. And I know people that come to you and they like you.
Hold on, Lucy.
Hold on. He can't hear you, and he really wants to hear you compliment him. If you were criticizing, he wouldn't put the headphones on. But
I have no idea what you said.
Because you're saying nice things, he wants the headphones on.
Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, Lucy. Go ahead.
So I'll criticize you. You're not doing a good job. You like better?
Listen, don't listen to Bill. Don't listen to him.
I don't bother anybody up, but it's true. I say what is true, what I hear. If people come to you and they say you're a great person, you do a lot for everybody, and the school board and all that, and that's what I want to say.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that, and kind words really kind of cheer me up these days. Because,
Did you take the headphone off?
Can I tell you his headphones are on?
Yeah.
Can I tell you something, Lucia, that Mr. Habaika and his wife have become grandparents 4 times over, and they doubled the number in 1 week. About a month ago, they doubled the number of grandchildren. They now have 4 grandchildren. He had 2 grandchildren born a couple of weeks ago.
Yep. And by the way, my granddaughter is named Lucia.
Oh, that's awesome.
Lucia. You say Lucia or Lucia, but it's the same name.
Lucia. You know.
Potato, patata, tomato, tomato.
I'll call her Lucia just for you.
Lucia. Oh, it's a beautiful name, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yes, it's a great name.
Congratulations. I think it's a great.
Thank
you know what? You're a staple at Bill Keeler show. Forever. You've been so incredibly loyal to Bill.
Well, yeah. Even in spite of his misbehavior towards me, you're right.
Yeah, it's because I sit there and listen to the stuff he tells me, how bad I am behaving. So, okay, Lucia, thank you very much. That was very nice of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
All right. Larry with a question for Joe. Larry, you're on with Bicah.
Yeah, I just want to know, is there any truth that the Utica School District is paying 2 superintendent salaries right now?
No. There's no truth to that.
Okay, because somebody said that the previous one was helping them out, and they were paying her.
Well, you know, when you hire a new superintendent, they get a coach. Basically, is what it's called. I mean, there's a transition. It's a transition process, and you have to remember, you know, we're a $290 million school district, and we have, 13 schools. We have a host of other things, and there's a lot of moving parts. So you just can't cut someone loose into the process. You need somebody that has some corporate knowledge, let's call it, so that you can, when you're making decisions, you're not just making it, first of all, you have to find out all the information about the background and everything else. So it is important to do that. Will it last forever? The answer is no. And, I don't think that, in the beginning, I think there was more of a presence, but at this point, it's my understanding that is not the case. So, and I have to say that, in terms of getting some coaching and advice and everything else from, Dr. Davis, you could definitely do worse in terms of of coaching.
All right, Larry, does that answer?
Okay, thank you.
All right, man, thank you. That has been one of those that's around.
I know. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff like we don't really know what's happening, and
Right.
I mean, it's nonsense. But I really don't want to get into that whole negative thing. It's just not worth it because. I mean,
well, I am against you.
So I understand. I appreciate that. I don't know anything. I don't pay attention to anything.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the king of the world, and I influence people to make them make decisions against their better interests. All that stuff.
Yeah.
I'm the puppet master.
The puppet master.
Yeah.
All right. Very nice.
Exactly.
All right. We'll do a few more coming up here. Megan has an up-to-down news coming up at WIBX.
Every once in a while, something that sounds too good to be true is actually, in fact, true. How would you like up to $4,000 of free windows? And when I say $4,000 of free windows, I mean $4,000 of free windows. No gimmicks or games. You don't have to buy $4,000 to get $4,000 free. You just get up to $4,000 of free windows through Patriot Home Solutions and NYSERDA. Of course, some restrictions apply, but none of these restrictions are income-based, and you don't have to sit through a long, drawn-out sales presentation. Give Patriot a call at 315-401-0440, and they can quickly tell you over the phone if you qualify or how you can get qualified. That's 315-401-0440. These aren't any windows. They're high-quality, custom-fitted windows designed to save energy and keep the cold air out all winter. Your window solution is Patriot Home Solutions. Online at patriothomesolutions.com.
Celebrate Amerique Credit Union's 75th anniversary with an extra 0.75% off your auto and rec loans. Apply today at amerique.org/loan sale.
Good morning, WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM news time is 8:34. I'm Megan Stone with your news update brought to you by The new destination Kia of Utica, Commercial Drive, Yorkville. It's 44 degrees and sunny outside. Your full weather forecast and that Keeler's cash code is all coming up next. Utica police are investigating a homicide in the city. Authorities say their ShotSpotter program alerted them of gunfire near the Kemble and Walker Street intersection. Officers noted a car speeding away as they approached the scene and learned it was taking an injured man to Wynn Hospital. Despite life-saving measures, the victim succumbed to his wounds. Utica police are now searching through multiple scenes to identify a suspect. Anyone with information about this incident is urged to call UPD at 315-223-3556 or by leaving an anonymous tip to Mohawk Valley Crime Stoppers at 866-730-8477. A Utica man was arrested on rape charges. According to the Oneida County Sheriff's Office, authorities responded to a sexual assault investigation on April 12th when a female victim went to Wynn Hospital following an alleged assault in New York Mills. Following an investigation, 40-year-old Feroz Khan of Utica was arrested and charged with third-degree rape, which is a Class E felony. He is being held at Oneida County Correctional Facility awaiting centralized arraignment. The victim, who will not be identified, was offered resources. Chobani Yogurt is investing $1 billion into the city of Rome to construct a new yogurt plant that will create over 1,000 new jobs and double the company's workforce in New York. At a press conference yesterday, Governor Kathy Hochul unveiled the $1.2 billion production facility coming to Griffith's Triangle. Hochul says it is the nation's largest investment in natural food production and will transform New York into America's top yogurt producer. Chobani CEO Hamdi Ulukaya said the approximately million-square-foot plant will process over 12 million pounds of milk a day and produce over 1 billion pounds of dairy products a year. And the Trump administration is planning to pull an additional $1 billion in funding from Harvard. That's according to the Wall Street Journal. The potential latest pulling of funds for health research comes as the White House wants the school to give it access to reports on anti-Muslim bias and anti-Semitism on campus. The Ivy League school is now suing the administration in an effort to block the government from freezing the funding. Your Keeler's cash code for this hour is 444. Head on over to WIBX950.com and enter code 444 to get yourself in the running to win $1,000. Currently, your WIBX news time is 8:37. Here is your Weather Center forecast.
Beautiful run of weather here. High pressure is going to stick with us as we head on through today. Clear, little chilly this morning. Maybe even a touch of heat in the car this afternoon. Sunshine, very nice. 65. Tonight, clouds back 43. Still 30s, especially into the Adirondacks. Tomorrow, chance of showers, maybe a thunderstorm in the afternoon. Upper 70s. I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic at the Weather Channel on WIBX, 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Right now, it is 44 degrees and sunny. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM. I'm Megan Stone.
Joe, I know you have a history with the Mazda.
Yes.
In your family.
Very true.
And Rick does a tremendous job. The other day I went in, this is a true story, to have, they'll rotate the tires. I wanted to have my winter tires taken off and put on my summer tires. I do the winter tires because you can go anywhere.
Yeah, I subscribe to that as well.
Even having, you want your kids to have winter tires because they're going to be able to go where they have to go.
Well, at least, be a little safer.
A little safer. Anyway, while I'm in there, Rick is there, and he said, "Oh, have you seen the new 2025 CX-90?"
No.
And I have a year left on the lease, and he said, "You're nearing the. What do you think I drive out with?" The 2025.
Really?
It is a beautiful vehicle.
Is it out there?
It is.
I got to take a look at it. You know that I've known Ricky since. We actually went to American Legion Boys State, which was a big deal. Juniors in high school would go and attend it. It was actually, I think it was in Morrisville or something at the time, and people from all over the state would go.
Yeah.
You were selected on it. You had to make an application and a speech and all this different stuff. And So he was there along with me. I think it was 1977. So I've known him for.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
He looks so much younger than you do. So I'm thinking the.
Buttering him up.
No.
I'm not buttering
that
you
was,
up.
No, that was.
Sorry.
You're going to pay for that, just so you know.
We can only give away 2 cents for the rest of the week.
That's right.
Joe, I'm just looking for a better lease deal. I don't know.
That was a good one.
The deal has been cut, but I walk out with a brand new vehicle, and it's out there.
What color is it?
It's.
Don't tell anybody because I don't want you to end up.
Thank you.
It. Okay.
It's purple. Oh Lord!
Fitting you'd be driving a clown car.
Anyway,
Never mind.
All right, no, I opened myself up to that. Anyway, the beauty is, I swear, every day I drive back and forth from home to work, and I do not because it's a PHEV, which is it's a hybrid. Is what it is.
Is that the one that charges the battery when you put the brake on?
It does do that, but you put a charge on it and you can go 20 miles, something like that, 25 miles. And so it's not an electric, it's a hybrid. But if you're driving around town, you don't use gas.
Yeah, I actually had one of those.
Yeah.
I had a Lincoln, I think, at the time. And
it is the coolest thing.
My in-city mileage was higher than my highway mileage.
And that's the key.
And that is, and
so you're driving back and forth to work. You don't use gas all week long.
It was great.
Yeah. On top of the fact that it's good on gas and all of that stuff. Right now, the new Mazda lease, you can enjoy 0.9% APR financing on new 2025 Mazda CX-30s, 5s, 50s, 70s, and yes, the 2025 CX-90. See Rick or anybody at the dealership for details. Rick, who looks younger than Joe. Mazda finished 2024 with a 16.8% sales increase year over year and awarded more IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus awards than any other brand.
You know that 0.9% financing is big.
Pretty awesome.
Not a lot of places offer.
That is absolutely right. As Rick says, come in, let's make your deal on a new Mazda. It's Steve Ponte Mazda, Commercial Drive in Yorkville. We'll wrap it up with Joe coming up at WIBX, and then Ryan Nobles from NBC.
Mattress Express's closeout sale on brand new leftover inventory and floor models. Right now, buy a king or queen and get a free adjustable base. Take up to 5 years to pay with no money down for qualified buyers and no credit check payment plans available as well.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/radio, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit. HIMS.com/RADIO.
Don't miss Clinton Tractor Spring Sales Event. We're giving you the best deals of the season on all of our inventory. Thousands of used and new equipment in stock, all in one location. Get 0% financing on new Ferris commercial mowers, Massey Ferguson, and New Holland equipment. And trailers and used equipment as low as 5.49%. Restrictions apply. We're giving you the best deals of the season. It's Clinton Tractor Spring Sales Event.
We are the leader in service, Clinton Tractor.
ClintonTractor.net.
This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Cordell & Cordell is the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. That does give us certain advantages, for example, in focus and resources. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. If you're a guy facing divorce, remember, Cordell & Cordell, a partner you can count on.
518-554-0000, 100 Great Oaks, Albany. Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-885-5995. 800-885-5995. 800-885-5995.
This is Keeler in the Morning. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Well, I want to tell you, if you're doing any flooring work and you're adding, changing flooring in your home or your business, there's nobody better than Sarah's Flooring Outlet. They have the largest flooring inventory and the best prices and the best service. And Sarah's will guarantee the lowest price on Redwood by Mohawk. It's a 60-mile guarantee. Redwood flooring is made in the USA. It is quality. A great product. And you'll see it when you see it at Sarah's. Pretty awesome. Also, if you're looking for carpeting, Smart Strand Carpets by Mohawk. Unbelievably clean, exceptionally durable, and environmentally friendly. Plus, you always get 6 months interest-free financing at Sarah's Flooring Outlet. Sarah's offering a wide variety of flooring from Mohawk, all on sale now at unbeatable prices. See why more people buy from the big store with the big inventory, with the big good grade and service. I don't know.
A big heart.
Saying. With a big heart. That's what I was going for. Route 49 Plaza, River Road, Marcy, and online in Sarah's Flooring Outlet.com. We had him on before. Glad to have him again. Ladies and gentlemen, former manager of the New York Mets, Bobby Valentine. Good morning.
Actually, it's Davy Johnson.
Oh, good morning, Davy. Good morning. I should have been able to tell by your voice. Yes, good morning.
Well, hello, Bill.
Hey, I got to tell you, Stefan, as Mets fans, it's probably not long-lived. It probably will be short-lived, but as Mets fans,
we're enjoying
I'm just saying things are pretty good right now.
Yes, they're looking like a championship team right now, kind of like the 1986 team.
I like that comparison.
But it's a long season.
It is.
No.
Yeah. Although we are handling the Philadelphia Phillies, the team that's been picked as one of the top picks to win the World Series. Again, long season, long way to go.
Also, I'd like to get Father Sean O'Brien's take on this. I feel bad about Pope Francis, and he was the people's pope, and he died Monday, and he was a very sincere pope. And I wonder what Father Sean O'Brien would have to say.
Yeah, we'll get him in. Yep, we will definitely do that. And it is sad. He was a very unorthodox pope who did things in a more modern and one might say, without going political, this is not really political, but with a more liberal approach. It'll be interesting to see what the Cardinals do moving forward. Will they take a step back or will they continue to move the church forward?
What's interesting is that they're saying that there might be a pope from New Jersey. He is actually on the short list to possibly become the pope.
Well, that would be terrible. Yeah. You cannot trust people from New Jersey.
It's Joseph Tobin, and apparently he was a close friend of Francis.
Is he the one who actually is currently overseeing things? I think that's him. But I could be wrong. I don't know. Anyway, Stefan, so the Mets looking good. Anything else? The Chobani story was really big. That's a good story, right?
Yeah, that's a big story that they're going to be more local out in Rome.
And I know you were telling me the other day you felt really bad because Andrew was leaving and you never really had a chance to say goodbye to him. So he might even be listening right now if you wanted to say goodbye to him right now.
Well, actually, I did say bye to him at the going away party.
Oh, so
that was so nice.
You fixed that. All right. Well, don't say goodbye to him then, all right?
I'll wish him good luck, and hopefully he enjoys his time now.
Yeah, as opposed to the misery he was living with working here with me. Okay, Stephen, thanks, man. We appreciate it. You have a great day. Go Mets. Do they play?
Mets beat the Phillies today. Go for the sweep.
Is today an afternoon game today?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. That was my question. Okay, Stephen, thank you.
Bye, Bill.
Goodbye. There he goes. Stephen Ribitsky. Mellow Testa this morning. Can I read this? Just wanted to thank Joe Habaika and the rest of the Utica School Board for their support in helping the Proctor Red Raiders baseball team get to Myrtle Beach and play. This week is spring break week for them. So they're in Myrtle Beach. He says they are here representing us very well in Myrtle Beach.
The Yankees and Mets are on at both the same time today. 1:10.
Well, I know
Yankees are on. Yes, the Mets are on MLB Network.
You'll be watching the Mets.
It might not be on MLB Network because the game was supposed to be on TBS last night.
Okay,
but due to contractual obligations, they didn't play it on TBS. At least on my TV and Time Warner and Spectrum in Rome, I had to watch it on SNY last night.
Oh, okay. But it was on SNY.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it says MLB Network today, so if anybody wants to watch it,
you never know.
SNY or MLB.
Unless you have the grand box that everybody's talking about.
The grand Pumbaa box?
Yeah, the Pumbaa box.
I got to get one of them.
That you can watch anything, anywhere, anytime, anyhow. That's what they say. Quick break, and we'll wrap it up here at WIBX.
Every once in a while, something that sounds too good to be true is actually, in fact, true. How would you like up to $4,000 of free windows? And when I say $4,000 of free windows, I mean $4,000 of free windows. No gimmicks or games. You don't have to buy $4,000 to get $4,000 free. You just get up to $4,000 of free windows through Patriot Home Solutions and NYSERDA. Of course, some restrictions apply, but none of these restrictions are income-based, and you don't have to sit through a long, drawn-out sales presentation. Give Patriot a call at 315-401-0440, and they can quickly tell you over the phone if you qualify or how you can get qualified. That's 315-401-0440. These aren't any windows. They're high-quality, custom-fitted windows designed to save energy and keep the cold air out all winter. Your window solution is Patriot Home Solutions. Online at patriothomesolutions.com.
It's time for Tucker Backyard Pools and Spa's annual chemical sale. It's our biggest savings of the year. Now through April 30th. Stop by our one-of-a-kind showroom located at 8086 Seneca Turnpike and save 15% on all in-stock pool and spa chemicals. It's the biggest savings of the year when it comes to your pool and spa chemicals. Now through April 30th. Don't have a pool or spa? Let us help complete your buying experience with our fully functional pool and spa display. Or use our interactive showroom and design the pool or spa of your dreams. Interact, design, review, and save with Tucker Backyard. Come visit us now till the end of April for our annual chemical sale with 15% off chemicals in stock. It's our biggest savings of the year. 15% off chemicals in stock. It's time for Tucker Backyard Pools and Spa's annual chemical sale. Now through April 30th, we bring the fun to your backyard. Tucker Backyard Pools and Spas, 8086 Seneca Turnpike, Clinton, 1 mile west from the Big Apple Plaza. Online at tuckerbackyard.com.
Hey, I want to tell you before I can't tell you, because the show's over at 9. I want to tell you about the Good Feet store. And I went there and went through that whole process. They have arch support specialists that try to help you and fix you when it comes to the way you're walking. And you may very well have developed an incorrect step over the years, which could be causing you problems in your hip, maybe your legs, your knees, your shoulder, even up to your shoulders. Even your neck. It can all be starting from your feet. They have a free fitting and test walk. There's not an appointment needed at all. There's no obligation, but personalized fittings and their 3-step solution. Strengtheners, maintainers, and relaxers. 3 categories of arch supports with varying levels of strengthening muscles, tendons, and ligaments. It really can change your life when it comes to pain, which very well could be caused in your feet. Everybody always thinks they go immediately to the back. You'd be surprised. All made in the USA, and you do not need an appointment. Located at 4630 Commercial Drive in New Hartford, Call them today at 315-999-3910. It's the Good Feet Store in New Hartford.
This is Keeler in the morning. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Hey, do you remember me talking yesterday, or maybe it was the day before, I don't know which day, about the twins who are talking in unison?
Yes, it was a little weird.
Nut job, a little weird. These people, I don't buy into it. However, the story has gained some life, believe it or not. Here they are. They were carjacked. And because they are identical twins, they say they can't help it. They must talk in unison. Now listen to them do this. It seems to me so fake. Here it is.
And one guy, he was up there with our mum. He went up there and he was coming back down towards us. And he goes, "Run, he's got a gun." And our heart started to pound. And I said, "Oh, Mum, where's Mum?" And poor Mum was stuck up there. But apparently our brave Mum, she goes, "Are you all right?" Because he had all blood all over his face.
Oh, my God, this is blowing my head
Wow,
up.
this reboot of The Shining is not looking great.
It is just weird. Well, anyway, they were on the Jimmy Kimmel Live show, and this is what they had to say with Jimmy Kimmel.
Joining us now from Queensland, Australia, Bridget and Paula Powers. Hello, Bridget and Paula. You really are twins. How is your mother?
Our mum is doing great, yes. And you know what? She said she's doing fine because she had 7 kids.
Well, you've caused quite a commotion with this video. When did you become aware that you had delighted the globe?
Well, when we heard from your show.
There's somebody
This
holding cue
seems like
cards.
a comedy bit, but I know it's
Yeah.
not. Do you speak in tandem on purpose?
No. This is us, and that's how we are. We know that we annoy a lot of people out there, but you know what? If they can't stand hearing us talk how we do, they can just simply turn off the TV.
Hey,
All right, turn off the television.
Well, I'm turning it off right now.
Yeah.
Enough.
You know what? People are always looking for something to get famous on.
It is clearly there because you can do it, right? You can, especially if you know each other really well. You can. You. Haven't you ever done this to mess with somebody? You start talking along with them, and they're, maybe it's just me and my wife. I don't know.
I was debating if we should try this trick, but
yeah, probably.
I
not.
think we would hear the racus sounds of people turning off their radios.
Off their radios. Yeah, sorry.
It's okay. There was an attempt.
Here is is this Mike and Skylar?
Yes,
Michael.
Yes,
Good morning. Good morning.
That was freaky. It seemed like they have like one thought. They're saying exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's strange.
Yeah, you know what? Mike? They're weirdos. That's what it is. Weirdo twins.
They want their 15 seconds of fame.
All right.
That's it.
I have 2.5 minutes, and it's for real because it'll cut me right off. Go ahead.
That box you're talking about. So
I've never listened. Hey. I've never talked about the box.
Okay. So, anyways, I was wondering. I wonder if it's like a monthly fee or a yearly fee.
Well, the thing that you're talking about that I don't know anything about doesn't have a monthly fee.
How about yearly? Does it have yearly?
The thing I don't know anything about does not have a yearly fee. I believe you just buy it up front and bingo.
And just a couple of last questions. The thing you don't know anything about.
Yes.
Play sports, movies, and shows.
Many years ago, I was told, be careful how you answer questions. But yeah, there you go.
And where can I find out about it? Is there a website or a name of it or anything like that?
I don't remember the name of this thing. I don't know anything about.
Because if I put box online, look for a box, it'll come up with anything. So I didn't know. But
so you're telling me that when you put in box in Google, nothing comes up.
Well, I'm just saying a lot of stuff will probably come up, but and you don't have, but you have to have Spectrum or you can have.
Well,
Verizon.
you need this thing I know nothing about. I'm pretty sure you'd have to have a really good internet connection.
And we do with Verizon.
Yeah. Yeah, I still think Spectrum is superior when it comes to that, but I'm just saying. So, I'll just tell you, I know nothing about it. That's all I can tell you.
Okay. He pleads the fifth.
Okay.
I've heard it's amazing, like really, really amazing. Phone call we just had. Okay. Say goodbye, Mike. We're out of time.
You take care.
Say goodbye before they cut us off, and you know they will. All right. Thank you, Michael.
Have a good day.
Enjoy the day. Have a good day. All right. Listen, I do have to go, and please enjoy your day.
Enjoy the sun.
News is next, followed by Kill Meat on WIBX.
From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX Utica, Rome. W295EI, WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM, a Town Square media station.
They've been lined up at the Vatican. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News, paying their last respects to Pope Francis. After the Pope's casket was moved for the public to view 2 days after his death at the age of 88.
Cardinals carried out the ritual ceremony of transferring his body to where it will lie in state for 3 days ahead of his funeral. The procession included cardinals, priests, and members of the Swiss Guard who walked the casket from the chapel of Casa Santa Marta, his residence, to St. Peter's. The procession passed through St. Peter's Square, up the stairs, and through the central door of the basilica.
As Fox's Alex Hogan, the funeral will be Saturday. Another stock market rebound is brewing. Dow futures up more than 700 points before this hour's opening bell, reacting to President Trump saying he is not trying to get Jerome Powell removed as Federal Reserve Chairman.
Never did. The press runs away with things. No, I have no intention of firing him.
President Trump says he'd like to see Powell be more active in lowering interest rates. The president has called Powell a loser, and earlier this month said his termination cannot come fast enough.
Fox's Jared Halpern of the White House. The Dow plunged Monday on fears of a Powell firing, then surged up 1,000 points yesterday on word the president plans to de-escalate the trade war with China at some point, bringing tariffs on imports lower. The Trump administration is on deadline to answer a judge by this evening in a controversial mistaken deportation case.
The Maryland judge overseeing the case of suspected MS-13 member Keeler Abrego Garcia is accusing the Trump administration of acting in willful and bad faith. The judge had ordered the administration to provide daily updates on the steps they're taking to bring Abrego Garcia back from El Salvador, but is now accusing them of violating that order.
Fox's Brooke Singman. The administration insists that Keeler Abrego Garcia is a gang member and should not be brought back from El Salvador, where he was sent last month with other alleged gang members. America's listening to Fox News.
When you hear the term living better, what do you think about? More money? A bigger house? Maybe a yacht? What about how you feel physically, how you wake up each day, how you sleep, what activities you can and cannot do? When you feel good, life is good. So if pain is affecting your life, see how Relief Factor can help. Relief Factor is a daily supplement that fights pain naturally. Developed by doctors, it doesn't just mask pain temporarily, it helps reduce or even eliminate pain. In fact, the longer you take it, the more effective it is. So give their 3-week quick start a try. It's only $19.95. Less than $1 a day. And it just takes a phone call, 1-800-4-RELIEF. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF. Wherever you're hurting, in 3 weeks or even days, Relief Factor can give you a chance to rediscover the true meaning of living better again. Visit Relief Factor.